also the responsibility, I think, at the national level for there to be some leadership to bring this moment to a calmer place. Local governments are important. It's where law enforcement is. It's where some of these resources are. But in Washington, it's where the bulk of our resources are. And the political pyromania that we see coming out of Washington right now is not only bringing us together, it is fanning the fuel of this fire. George W. Bush wrote a letter today aimed at healing. I am not in the same political party as him, but as two fellow Americans, and the words that we've seen from President Obama and others, this is a moment for every American leader to step up and to heal. And so that is the most critical thing that we can do moving forward, is to find common ground that this death has presented us with and to make forward motion. In terms of the budget, absolutely, I alluded to that here. I'm proud that we have grown our youth development and gang reduction by 50%, while the numbers of officers while I've been mayor have stayed the same. I'm glad that we've been able to do things like LA Rise, which hires people coming out of jail and prison in jobs with the city and with our Caltrans and other places to give them hope and opportunity instead of a one-way ticket back to jail. I'm proud of the more than $600 million, the biggest growth of our budget, that we're putting into the fight to help people who are experiencing homelessness. But I hear what people are saying out there. And that's why I'm talking to my fellow elected officials on the city council and others. Even in a year when we see revenues down, I hear you. In the next couple of days, I hope to be able to show how we can build more justice, how we can invest in youth and in jobs, how we can make sure that there is less pain, whether it comes from being hungry right now or whether it comes from being the victim of racism. We have to make sure that those things are reflected in our dollars. And I think this moment does call for us to continue marching forward and finding opportunities wherever we can. So I hope in the next couple of days to share more of that.
Next question comes from Ben.
Speak from the heart tonight to and about Black Angelenos. And he called to the podium Davion Pilgrim, who is a 16-year-old high school. To hear that young man talk about how he has been stopped by police and profiled, and the biggest fear growing up in South LA is to die at the hands of police. But he went on to say that he wants to protest, to demand change, peaceful protests. It was powerful to hear those words from that young man.
It certainly was. The mayor began with saying that this was a moment of opportunity. I really believe he seized the opportunity, and I really believe that he was speaking really from his heart, like we haven't seen in the last, over 2 months from the mayor. He really spoke ad lib to the issue. I thought that the mayor had the right words, but I thought that Davin, that young man, had the right message, and he did a heck of a job of delivering it. I just wanted to hear more from him. Yeah. We're also joined by Conan Nolan. Conan, what was your impression?
Well, let me focus on the answer he just gave a moment ago. To the critics, yes, they believe his words, but the proof is in the pudding. He made some reference to budget priorities. He said he would not make an announcement, but they want him to tell the police union, we are going to renegotiate your contract because officers are expected to get a pay hike while other parts of city government are going to receive a reduction in funding because of a loss of revenue as a result of the depression that we're in now. So it'll be a very difficult dance for the mayor. He says that he's already had conversations with other city officials about reinvigorating some of the programs designed to help in minority communities, but it's going to be a very tough road to hoe when it comes to the money to do that if you don't talk to the police department and reduce their funding as well. That's going to be one very difficult job for the mayor coming forward.
It sounds like it is something he's going to try to work on, but it is going to be a really tough task, Conan.
Right. And again, I think he addressed the crowd outside the Getty House. They're there because they were protesting the funding of the department. But remember, law enforcement is a fundamental responsibility of city government. It is the protection of the public health and safety. And the police union has had considerable sway. So we shall see. But right now, the city, frankly, doesn't even know how much money it's going to be getting over this next fiscal year. And so it's very difficult for them to plan. But he believes there will be an investment in programs some way or another that help the communities that have been reaching out outside his home in Hancock Park.
Hey, Conan, quick, yes or no? Did he get the chief off the hook?
I think so. I think I expected him to say, give the chief a break. He has an officer in the hospital with a fractured head, a skull. He has other officers that have been hospitalized. He misspoke. He hasn't gotten a lot of rest. So I think he helped him quite a bit.
All right. Conan, thank you for that. Coming up next on the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt, the mother of George Floyd's 6-year-old daughter speaking out for the first time.
Yeah. Copy. Thank you. Thanks for the heads up. Hey, Jamie, I do copy. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the web. This is Gil Levis in News Chopper 4 Bravo, along with my pilot, Chris Sanders. We're over Hollywood right now. We're looking at Santa Monica Boulevard. Protesters are marching eastbound towards Vine Street. This is the same group that a little while ago took over an intersection at Sunset and Vine, and this group has kind of stretched out through the city streets as they moved westbound on Sunset, and they came down Cahuenga to here at Santa Monica Boulevard, and they continue eastbound on Santa Monica through El Centro. There's Vine. I'm sorry, that's El Centro there. It is a peaceful march. The group is probably one of the largest groups right now that are out and about. Right now the curfew is in effect though. And I can hear the LAPD airship talking about the group, just monitoring them from a distance. We don't see any large groups of officers that are in trail. They're definitely in different areas. And we're going to get an estimate here from the LAPD in just a second on how large the crowd is. We were earlier over the mayor's mansion in Hancock Park, where a large group gathered there. We were initially there in the beginning, about 150 people. That grew to over 1,000 people that took over that neighborhood at 6th and Irving Boulevard, and they have since left the area. There was still a small group left when we came to this demonstration march. Okay, Chris, they're making a northbound turn. Let's take a look and see where they're going. Yeah, let's go ahead of them. Let's go to the northeast. Yeah, and get over that street. They're all turning there. We're moving our helicopter as we watch the crowd move to the east and now turn the corner there. That's Lodi Place from Santa Monica Boulevard.
各位網友大家好啊！又歡迎大家翻到嚟呢個頻道。暫時咧仲係整理緊啲新聞嘅消息。呢24小時咧都發生咗好多嘢。咁啊，稍後咧就會作一個少少嘅簡介翻呢。琴日就發生過咩事？最重要一點咧就係睇嚟咧，今日暫時嗰個遊行示威咧係比較和平好多嘅。咁至於咧好多城市咧就會開始宵禁噶啦。咁宵禁之後呢，啲出嚟搶嘢嘅匪徒會唔會再係好似之前幾日咁犀利呢？咁就要睇翻出嚟呢個示威嘅人啦，可唔可以跟隨政府嘅要求喺呢個宵禁之後呢，翻回屋企嘅？喺呢度我先首先多謝阿 Two 同埋 Wong， 你哋真係我嘅忠實嘅擁躉啊！不過喺呢度先要同大家講一聲，好對唔住嚇，因為本人嘅中文程度只有小學4年級，所以有時用字唔啱或者咬音唔啱嘅，請大家多多包涵嚇。
There was really no police presence. It was a very peaceful protest and demonstration in that intersection. And since they've moved on, making almost an entire loop here through the streets of Hollywood, Hollywood and Gower. And the group now is turning eastbound on Fountain Avenue from Lodi Place.
There's military helicopter overhead, LAPD helicopter overhead. The streets are barricaded by armed LAPD officers. And this has been a day of largely peaceful protest. But as it gets dark here, they're obviously preparing for that to change, hoping that it doesn't.
Phil, let me ask you, too, about 1992.
It's a day that we won't forget this anytime soon, right?
Let's you and I go back for a moment with 1992. And my memory is the shots of the National Guard here with the LA riots, the civil unrest, and the fires that we had that we haven't seen here in LA because, you know, Minneapolis is more where you're seeing more of that. But it just stands out to me, the members of the National Guard who normally have these normal jobs and have agreed to serve our country in this way and be called upon when asked.
Well, that's right. And you remember, this was something that Mayor Garcetti initially resisted. Then things were spiraling out of control. He backtracked quickly and called them in. Right now, it's tough to say exactly where they're headed. Looks like, as I mentioned, they're going towards Vine, which is just a few blocks ahead.
Toddy， 你講得啱啊！而在美國咧，個失業人數的確係好厲害，已經有3000幾萬人失業㗎啦。咁樣再加上咧，喺美國，白人咧就通常咧多數咧都係去到呢個中產階級嘅，而好多非白人啊，例如黑人啊。南美洲人啊，或者墨西哥人喺美國工作啊嚇，係受到好大影響喺個疫情啊。美國個疫情到而家咧，嗰個嚴重性係冇減過嘅，而喺好多新聞報導上咧都已經提及過，就係話呢次遊行示威咁多人出嚟啊嚇，亦好多人咧冇做好呢個防禦措施啊，所以可能咧呢個病情啦嚇。個嚴重性啦嚇，喺10零日後啊嚇，會出現一個大爆發嘅。多謝你嘅留言。
They're calling about 300 people and about 20 vehicles that are kind of staying with the group here and slowly making their way just through Hollywood here. They did, as Phil was mentioning, they did go south on Cahuenga and pass by the police station or the area of the police station. They did have a couple of lines of officers there blocking their way from going in that direction. But now they're just kind of here going eastbound on Fountain on just over by Gower here. We're going to take a look here. There's also a bunch of, like you said, there's a bunch of vehicles and cars, pedestrians here. They've got several vehicles that are still kind of following this whole crowd you see right here. Some of them were reported to be picking up and driving on the sidewalk you see, but there's such a large amount of cars here that now they're calling about 50 cars here that are following this group, and some of them are up on the sidewalk. That's Lodi and Santa Monica Boulevard. And now things get slow because they took on the Lodi here, and that's a really small street, small residential street, so it's like one at a time as they go here. But the front of this march, it's over here on Fountain, just off to the east of Gower.
A parade of cars. Obviously, Kevin, the crowd thin enough that cars can go along with them, and that it is kind of a safer way to travel, I guess, if you don't have many people.
And a programming note, you just saw it come up on your screen. This is usually the time where TMZ would be airing. If you are a fan of TMZ and want to watch that, we're going to put that on our sister station, Channel 13, at 7 o'clock tonight. Although, selfishly, I hope you would stay with me and Christine, and Dr. Drew is going to be joining us, too, at 7 o'clock as we continue our coverage. So now we want to go to Coco McAvoy. She's been on the move as well. Coco, tell us about where you are now, Windsor Square.
So now we're on South Irving near 6th Street, near the mayor's house, and something really interesting just happened here. A bunch of people were applauding, and they were applauding because a few moments ago, police officers right over here to this side, you can see there are a number of police cruisers. They got out of their cars, and they appeared to be approaching the crowd at the time. And so people started gathering here in a formation of sorts to, as if to say they're not moving, they're not going anywhere, even though curfew has started. And then once that happened, it appeared that police officers started to move away from here. So people started to applaud. I've been speaking to people in the crowd here, and they say this is about George Floyd. This is about sending an important message. It's been peaceful here, and I want to speak to one of the people that's here today to tell us about why it's so important. If you could share what's on your heart right now.
I just think that it's important for us to start a change in this system because it's not just George Floyd. It was from slavery. It was from locking people up injustly. It was from killing people injustly. It was from targeting people for no reason. It's from only 6 months training to have the ability to take somebody's life.
各位網友好，先做一個少少嘅新聞簡介先。喺呢24小時裏邊呢，就有幾個重要嘅事情發生過嘅。喺紐約市呢，佢哋嗰個宵禁令呢，會維持到呢個月呢個星期尾嘅。咁呢紐約警察呢，就曾經講過，佢哋唔需要呢個國民保衛兵幫佢哋暫時啊。咁樣呢，單單喺紐約呢，被呢個宵禁令所拘捕嘅人士呢，已經超過700多人㗎啦。咁再加上呢，喺呢個 Atlanta 呢，就有6名警察呢係被控訴呢係過分使用武力嘅，暫時呢幾名警察已經停職㗎啦。咁琴日呢，我要補充一樣嘢，就係嗰4名警察捉呢個黑人 George Floyd 嘅呢，一個已經係被捕。我琴日提及到呢，就話3個警察呢已經被捕。我要澄清一樣先，佢而家係可能被起訴。咁至於係咪正式起訴咗呢，就係未嘅。所以呢點我想清楚翻先。至於呢位黑人死難者 George Floyd 先生呢，下個星期2呢就會喺呢個德薩斯州呢係舉行葬禮，而喺星期日呢就喺呢個侯斯頓舉行一個紀念會嘅。咁喺呢個呢個明尼亞波利斯市呢個警察人數呢又開始增加，但係示威者呢亦一路喺度增加。咁喺連日嚟呢都已經有數百人呢係被捕㗎啦。咁當時嘅市長呢，同埋一啲人權組織嘅呢，就聯署聲明呢，就希望當地嘅警察作一個公道嘅獨立委員會去研究當時警察呢個有系統性針對唔同種族人嘅工作嘅調查。咁因為咧喺過去嘅5年呢，已經有45位被捕者因為警察採用腳壓喺個頸部而受傷嘅，已經都達多45人㗎啦。咁至於喺芝加哥呢，國民護衛兵呢已經增加到300幾400人，而目前到而家單單芝加哥呢都已經又係有數百人被捕㗎啦。喺芝加哥呢，就其實呢啱啱呢亦係呢佢哋嗰個疫情下呢，所有鋪頭呢會重新開返嘅，但係睇落去呢 就應該係一件好難嘅事啦。咁至於呢個洛杉磯呢，就又係啦，有數百人被捕，咁樣呢，就好多人被捕嘅因素呢，就係因為佢哋唔遵守呢個拘禁令。而當時市長呢，有句説話呢，就係講錯咗，佢話呢，出嚟搶劫嘅人係等於謀殺。呢件事呢，曾經引起呢好多人不忿嘅。咁後嚟呢，佢就出嚟澄清。咁至於香港呢，林鄭月娥呢，就曾經有講過話美國人啊對遊行示威呢係一個雙重標準啊。香港嘅暴徒佢哋就話佢哋係呢個抗爭者，而喺美國就算遊行示威嘅人，佢哋都話佢哋係恐怖分子。最重要一樣嘢就係咧，美國大總統咧曾經講過話呢次美國呢個咁大嘅騷亂咧，可能有外國勢力參入咧係形成嘅。不過呢個講法咧已經俾好多人咧撤回㗎啦，因為呢個種族歧視嘅問題喺美國實在係太過深、太過大啦。而最後值得一提呢，就係美國啱啱曾經做咗一個民意調查，咁民意話呢，就有75%嘅人話呢，呢一次嘅暴動呢係覺得係合理嘅，咁21%嘅人呢就話呢個暴動呢係某部分係合理，只有18%嘅人呢就係話呢次個暴動呢係一個唔合理嘅暴動。咁由數據呢可以睇到啊嚇，暫時呢個美國嗰個民意係點樣？好，暫時呢個就係琴日到而家嘅信息。遲啲我再睇睇個信息係點樣，再向大家報告翻。
Yeah, you can see them right there following in that narrow road there. You've been on the streets covering a lot of these protests. Have you seen that before with the cars following?
I'm sorry, Christine, can you say that again? Yeah. There's protesters yelling.
Sure. Asking about all the cars taking part in the protests. Have you seen this before in what you've been covering?
Not to this extent. A little bit in Riverside yesterday, but this seems to be more of a parade. This is probably the biggest one we've seen so far over the last 5 days or so that we've been covering the protests. So yeah, it's a pretty incredible crowd. I can talk to a couple people if you'd like.
I always like hearing from people if they can keep it clean.
Would you guys like to say one?
Thanks for First Amendment. America.
You're on live television.
I'm on live television.
Yes, sir.
Oh, how you doing, Mama?
Tell me what your message is to the community while you're out here today.
My message to the community is love is on the inside. You gotta shine bright. Look, I'm proud to be who I am, and I'm proud to be around these people. You know, who you are is what you'll put out. So put out peace, put out love, put out greatness. And
we're obviously first responders.
First responders, veterans who have combat medical experience, you guys need to be out here protecting people. And
so are you out here to protect then, or are you out here to spread the message?
We're out here to spread the message that as a group of people, Americans.
係網友好啊！喺我信息度呢，我都見到有好幾位留言嘅網友呢，都睇咗我呢個頻道有2日㗎啦，有3日㗎啦。喺呢度我都想強調一下，而家睇咗美國呢個遊行示威騷亂，同香港呢一年裏邊所發生嘅遊行示威有咩分別呢？我咁樣問都係想翻去同大家講講本台嗰個初心，做呢個直播，俾更加多啲人能夠睇到而家美國所發生嘅遊行示威騷亂，美國警察係點樣做？政府對呢啲遊行示威嘅表態又係點樣呢？好不幸，香港人已經喺呢個情形之下生活咗1年。至於而家美國呢個遊行示威先啱啱進行咗大約1個星期啦，正式嘅遊行應該係4、5日到啫。政府採取嘅行動已經係相當強硬。 而拘捕嘅人數都係以每個城市都係以數百以上嘅，所以喺呢度就想希望各位網友將呢個直播或者嘅影片傳俾多啲人睇，等多啲華人又好，其他人好，能夠做個比較，還香港政府嘅警察一個公道，可以睇到啊，其實香港警察呢一年嚟所做嘅事情係相當之克制，係一點希望唔好再俾黃絲嗰邊屈香港警察係黑警。多謝大家。
I also talked today with Sean McVay, and we talked extensively about a meeting that the Rams had yesterday. They had 120 people on that meeting. It lasted an hour and a half. They had the opportunity to talk about George Floyd, the protests they're seeing, and some of the experiences that they had. Here's Sean.
Sean, what did you learn in that meeting that maybe opened your eyes?
I think just really, Liz, about individual experiences. You know, there were so many different things. You know, you realize those experiences, the environments we're in kind of shape some of the ways that you feel about things, and asking questions to where you're just having a better understanding for some of the things that guys have gone through and how that's shaped their feelings on what we're seeing, some of these tragedies that we've witnessed. And it was a variety of different things, but I think it's more importantly about understanding each individual situation and being willing to ask the questions. You know, when I reflect on it, you say, man, it's been such a great learning opportunity to get to know people better. And I wish I had been asking these questions a lot sooner than for something like this to have happened. But I'm very thankful that guys have been willing to share.
What guys shared the most?
You know, I guys for privacy, it was a variety of a lot of different players, Liz, a lot of different staff members. It was
喺呢度再補充下旁述先。過去12個小時嘅美國嘅頻道啊，同埋呢個記者啊或者被訪問者嘅重點呢，琴日呢仲係講緊呢係呢啲搶劫嘅暴徒，咁但係今日呢就好多人呢站咗出嚟呢，就開始講返而家美國呢個種族歧視個問題個深度。咁至於琴日點解會將所有嘅重點放喺呢個搶劫嘅事件之上呢？就係有啲媒體呢係支持呢個美國總統特朗普嘅，佢哋嘅意識呢就係想製成到呢就係出嚟而家遊行示威嘅人呢係暴徒，咁樣呢政府呢就能夠順理成章呢出呢個軍隊嚟去鎮壓嘅，但係呢一點呢，當特朗普講咗之後呢，好多社會領袖啊，或者記者們呢，都覺得係好唔合理嘅。咁今日呢，就將所有報道嘅焦點呢，就放喺呢個 healing。healing 意思就係希望啦群眾咧能夠得到一個安慰，能夠一個社會咧回返一個平靜。至於呢個遊行示威能夠去到幾時咧？照我頭先所講啦，呢位被殺嘅 Mr. Floyd 先生呢，要到下個星期2先落葬，即係睇情形嚟講呢，上街遊行嘅人起碼都要去到下個星期2嘅。
They talked about their previous experiences. He said there were so many powerful people in all of this, and they feel great. To see how this will translate on the field, just to give you an idea, you're going to see things on the court, on the field, and in different things that athletes do. So as sports comes back, this story comes with it. And that's what you're going to see, the powerful healing possibilities that go along with sports.
And Liz, it's looking more and more like we're going to have an NBA season, huh?
Yeah, it does. You know what I saw today, Alex, as far as the NBA season goes? The NBA is targeting the middle of October as Game 7 for Game 7.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when the schedule makers make their schedules, they look for the end of the season. When's the last big game? And they work backward from there. So middle of October.
October 12th is the date we saw. All right, Liz.
We thank you for your coverage from home because of the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah.
So Liz has been home reporting from home for us.
And we hope to see that interview with Baron Davis a little bit later on tonight during our coverage. All right, usually at 7 o'clock is the time we do the Fox 11 special report with me and Dr. Drew. He's with us in a moment, but tonight we get the added bonus of one of the greatest anchors in the history of Los Angeles. Christine Devine is with us as well.
I was going to say, who would that be?
Our special coverage continues right now.
You're watching Fox 11 News Special Report.
It's been a day of peaceful protests across Southern California.
Protest in itself is beautiful.
From Sky Fox, a sea of demonstrators in downtown LA. On the ground, protesters started dancing. Moms and dads showing their kids what peaceful protesting looks like.
I just wanted them to show that we can fight for change,
係
but it
歪
doesn't have to
聰
be in a negative light.
好多謝你先嘅支持，我絕對明白嘅。呢個時段係香港人或者正常人係最繁忙嘅時間。我上個星期六開始第一次做直播，亦睇到星期六咧同星期日嗰個，尤其是星期天嗰個睇嘅人數咧係超多嘅。大家唔一定要需要睇呢個直播嘅，一個就算係入邊你自己睇到有咩片段係值得俾其他人睇嘅，你都可以將呢個片段咧推薦出去。最主要嘅目的唔係話要本頻道有幾多訂閱，而係最重要嘅就係等多啲人能夠真係睇到個分別。喺呢度好多謝你先，歪聰。
This story that Fox 11 broke this morning of somebody being arrested, dressed in uniform, attempting to be National Guard, pretending to fit in there.
And they were carrying a whole lot of weapons in the process, too, and there was concerns about a potential attack on the crowd. So thankfully, they were able to get that person, 31-year-old Gregory Wong, into custody, a story broken by our Bill Malusian and our investigative team. We have seen
就向歪聰你補充一少少嘢先，或者對其他嘅網友都補充一下。點解我哋要多畫面去直播呢？因為喺美國而家唔係一個城市發生呢個騷亂，而係多個唔同嘅地方都有騷亂。而我所指去比較嘅畫面就係當警察執法嘅時候，佢哋用嘅方法係點樣呢？喺呢方面呢，先係最重要攞嚟同香港警察去做比較，同埋亦睇睇人哋喺西方國家，人哋一樣係爭取呢個民主自由嘅時候。佢嘅人民嘅做法同埋佢哋嘅克制係點樣？因為如果冇克制冇尊重，根本你冇可能可以去爭取呢個民主自由嘅。
When they were actually allowed to be there on the streets and getting caught up though in traffic and also having cars follow along with them like a parade. Not so much here. There seems to be a car caught up in the crowd.
Uh-oh. Could this be our first incident of looting? We see people, it looks like, trying to break into a store. Some people maybe trying to get them out. This is not good. We've been avoiding this all day. We see people, this is in downtown that we're looking at now. A bunch of people headed towards one particular store, not sure what it is, why so many people headed over there. This is, and you see some people shooing them away. You wonder if that was an instance of looting or not. Thankfully, it seems like the crowd is getting shooed away, and it doesn't look like they're running away with a bunch of things, but that looked like the beginning of what could have been trouble, and thankfully it doesn't look like it is going to be, but we should keep an eye on.
I mean, people,
they just broke into the door there. So now you see all of these people heading in there.
And look at the residents there looking from their window, looking down on this, because as you know, downtown LA, people live above these businesses, Broadway and Fifth.
And this is what we've been avoiding all day. This is what we haven't seen. And you now see all these people running into particular building. I mean, I guess it's possible that this isn't looting, but this is.
What's open at this hour?
You know, this is certainly what it has looked like. Unfortunately, with the looting, yeah, you see these people who are technically under curfew and abiding by the law in their windows, looking out their windows, and seeing all these people run inside.
I saw someone wave them in. So is somebody allowing them to go inside that location? I mean, it's all boarded up.
Unless say this is an apartment complex and those are people going in to go to one particular apartment. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to imagine that, but that's not likely what it is. You see this guy coming out with something in his hands. We'll see if these people come out with goods or anything that would sort of be the giveaway that this was an instance of looting here.
It is a different feeling than we've seen in the past. I don't know if they're allowed to be in that location, but somebody was waving them in, and we haven't seen people come out with stuff. You did see that that's a building where people live. We saw people hanging out their window looking down upon them. But like you said, were they allowed, all those people allowed to come in? I don't know. Seems bizarre.
Hard to believe. That's sort of strange, whatever we just saw underway there. I mean, looked like, what, 30, 40 people all run in at the same time?
係各位網友好啊！我唔知有幾多個係新入嚟睇嘅網友啦。但係我都要重複一下呢。點解美國呢次呢有呢個咁大嘅遊行騷亂嘅事件發生嘅？咁最主要呢，就係喺一個星期前，即係上週嘅星期一，喺呢個明尼亞蘇達州嘅明尼波利斯市，有一位黑人被4名白人警察拘捕。咁樣呢，喺拘捕嘅期間呢，呢位 Justiceforfloyd 先生，呢位就係個受害者，佢係用呢個偽鈔嘅，咁但係偽鈔嘅總額呢係1張20蚊嘅美金。咁佢被捕之後呢，就雙手反上手扣，但係後期呢，就俾3名警察呢就壓喺地上，而其中1名警察呢，就將佢嘅膝呢就壓喺呢位先生嘅頸部，歷時呢6分鐘46秒。咁喺呢個過程之中呢，呢位 Justiceforfloyd 先生呢，就曾經高聲呼叫過好多次呢，係佢唞唔到氣，唞唔到氣。咁呢個過程呢，就俾好多人呢就錄起咗上嚟，而啲片呢就廣傳咗出去。咁樣好多人呢就睇到喺個情形之下呢，覺得警方呢係濫用緊呢個武力嘅。再加上呢，就俾人個感覺就係因為呢個係黑人，所以警察呢先使用呢個咁唔適當嘅武力，係絕對係一個種族歧視嘅行為。咁呢位先生 Justiceforfloyd 不幸呢就昏迷，跟住送院，就後來呢就不治。咁最初呢，警方嘅發言就係話呢4位警察呢係冇事嘅，係冇受到起訴嘅。反而呢，佢哋仲係有藉口話呢，因為呢位 Justiceforfloyd 先生本身呢亦有心臟病或者其他糖尿病啊諸如此類嘅，所以呢，佢呢個係自己嘅病呢係點治到啊嚇，佢死亡嘅，所以就引起好多群眾嘅不忿，就開始上街遊行。咁遊行多2、3日後呢，警察呢，應該係講呢個起訴官呢，就將嗰位先生警察先生用膝頭壓住佢頸部嘅起訴，作為一個3級謀殺或者係誤殺罪嘅。但係呢個消息傳咗出去呢，都冇用㗎啦，因為好多群眾個怒憤呢已經係存在喺度。因為喺美國呢個黑人啊或者外籍人種啦，即係除咗白人之外，喺美國都係受到呢個種族歧視，喺社會的確係一個好深嘅裂痕嚟嘅。咁最新消息就係話到呢， 其他3位警察呢係會可能受到起訴嘅，咁但係呢分鐘呢仲未曾係正式宣佈。咁好多觀眾啊都睇到幾日呢個報導㗎啦。咁至於話呢個咁嘅遊行示威去幾時呢？咁相信呢而家呢就係咁樣 ，George Floyd 先生呢就會喺星期日呢喺呢個後。睇先喺星期日嘅時間呢，就會喺呢個侯斯頓呢舉行呢個紀念會啊，唔係係星期日舉行紀念會，然之後星期2呢就舉行葬禮嘅。咁至於起碼呢，相信呢呢啲對呢個事覺得不公平嘅人呢，呢個遊行示威應該最少呢會持續到至Mr. George Floyd 呢個葬禮完畢嘅。
Kevin, give us some more play-by-play.
Yeah, you know what? All 3 of them that were in the car were resisting. So they got in there. They punched the windows before they could lurch the car any farther forward there, because you see they had a lot of officers that were in front of the car. They were kind of dealing with that looting. What was suspected, those 3 suspects in the car were suspected of looting, and that's where the airship picked them up, moving at a high rate of speed coming southbound before they ran into the back of the march there. And then they did get the car stopped, but they had to move in front of it to block it in there, because it was, they didn't want it to run into the back of the march that was going on southbound. It had just about cleared down Santa Monica Boulevard, but it was moving at such a high rate of speed, and they did try to get away. They called it actually a pursuit for about 2 seconds, and then they came in and blocked it in before it could get any farther because of those people farther to the south here. Now you can see they've got 3 in custody now.
阿滔啊，嗰個事情係咁樣嘅，美國而家佢哋白天呢個遊行示威呢，警察呢係冇捉人嘅。最主要呢就係一到咗晚上啊，呢個宵禁開始嘅時候，有啲城市啊早於6點鐘呢已經係宵禁㗎啦。所以呢個宵禁嘅期間，即係唔準任何人喺街上。所以一到咗6點開始，如果任何人喺街上，警察都會捉嘅。我諗好多人睇咗幾日呢個畫面，就發覺美國警察捉人唔會好似香港咁樣，又要豎起藍旗、紅旗啊、黃旗啊，嗌你啲人走啊，先去拘捕嘅。而美國不嬲嘅做法，尤其是係紀律部隊做法，嗰個強硬性係相當之犀利嘅，對比下香港嚟講。所以香港人仲喺度講緊呢班黃絲話要民主自由。如果佢同樣嘅方法喺美國進行呢個示威遊行嘅，我相信大部分人已經俾人捉晒㗎啦。
To handle that, because they didn't want it to go farther south into the march and hit any pedestrians or any other cars that were kind of following that march. And then they had the portion where the individual threw a bottle and some other stuff at the officers they had stopped the car, but they hadn't really gotten too involved in it yet. They had just finished stopping the car, and then when the items were thrown at the officer, so they moved over and took that person into custody. The car was still kind of sitting there, and then just as they were done with the first suspect, they came back to the car and were trying to get them to step out of the vehicle, but then it lurched forward. Mm-hmm. That's when they broke the windows to get the suspects out of the vehicle.
All right, Kevin Takumi, thank you so much for your reporting from there, and we will I guess keep an eye on what's happening here. We're going to go to Haley, and we're going to check in with Haley Winslow now. She's been on the move through the day. My guess is she's at Melrose. It's a good indication for us. Haley, what's it like where you're at?
Hey, Alex, we are on Van Ness and Melrose, and basically what just happened is all these protesters are making their way down Van Ness. The police officers, in an effort to keep them from turning onto Melrose and to help protect Warner Brothers Studios and across the street, Raleigh Studios, they made a line across Van Ness with their arms on their batons, making sure that things remain peaceful. Much different than we've seen in a lot of these protests. Normally we're seeing thousands of people walking. A lot of the protesters in this one are in their cars, but it has stayed peaceful. There's been definitely some heated words exchanged between the cops and the protesters as they get their message across the Black Lives Matter and racial justice, and they're making their way down Van Ness.
Wow, look at that there. I guess in any other kind of situation, you'd think that'd be very dangerous, or even as it is now. So we're back looking at this scene where police brought a pursuit
多謝你嘅留言。至於你話起碼2個禮拜先回復平靜呢，我相信遊行示威可能會回復呢個平靜，但係美國呢個種族歧視呢係歷史已經數百年㗎啦，亦唔係一下一朝一日能夠解決到嘅事情，好似我頭先提過啦，有好多人權組織嘅呢，就希望呢唔同嘅城市呢進行一個獨立委員會去調查警方呢使用呢個有系統性嘅針對唔同膚色嘅人。如果警方或者政府冇一個真正嘅改革啊嚇，其實喺美國長期啊都有比較規模少啲嘅遊行示威啊，係針對呢件事。不過呢一次呢，係變咗一個相當之大規模嘅問題。亦最重要加上呢，就係呢個疫情呢，係好影響美國，而且係影響美國嘅低收入嘅一群。而外籍人種，例如黑人啊、我哋亞洲人啊、南美洲人啊，喺美國都係屬於一種低收入嘅一群，好多人係手停口停嘅，所以喺呢疫情之下，有好多人真係已經揾唔到飯食㗎啦。
Temporarily for the curfew violation. They weren't moving fast enough to get out of the way, so they're taking them into custody for the violation there. They're also talking about, you can see what they did when they cleared everything out on Santa Monica Boulevard here. They're holding all the traffic on Santa Monica Boulevard from Van Ness, you see right over there. So they're just clearing everybody out here. It is definitely after the curfew, so they are moving everybody. If they're out here, they're trying to clear everybody. They're trying to get these people go back into their homes, and as they finish up this investigation. But right now, their biggest concern is getting everybody, as many off the streets, and letting everybody know that it's definitely after curfew.
All right, Kevin, thank you so much. As we leave this location here in Hollywood, one note on Beverly Hills, the city announcing yet again they will impose another curfew beginning at 1 p.m. Wednesday in the business district, 4 p.m. again citywide for Beverly Hills. That's till 6 a.m. the next morning.
And Christine, as the sun is setting, we saw last night after darkness, they really took that curfew pretty seriously. And by 10 o'clock, the streets were pretty much deserted all over Southern California. We look at more aerials of another protest on the move. This is in downtown Los Angeles. Coco McAvoy is in Windsor Square. This is where Black Lives Matter activists have assembled a protest in front of the home of the mayor of Los Angeles. The question is, will they stay there until, I guess, he gets home tonight? Coco joins us now live.
Hi, Alex. That's a really good question. The crowd here continues to grow, and it's really a diverse crowd as well. People even brought their kids. You're taking a look live now here at this crowd. People have a number of signs, and different people have been speaking into the megaphone, either telling their stories or starting a chant like you're hearing right now.
想回覆一下咧，你所講香港如果宵禁嘅話咧，可能個示威會早啲結束。 但係呢，香港係一個好特別嘅地方嚟，我哋係靠呢個金融事業為主嘅。咁好多人呢，其實呢係輪流呢，不停喺度工作24小時冇得停嘅。如果喺咁嘅情形之下呢，香港就會失去佢自己獨特有嘅好處，所以呢個金融體系或者呢個金融個運作對香港係相當重要，所以政府都唔想用到呢一個方法，就係如果香港越多人揾唔到食或者係冇機會生存嘅，咁其實就係中咗呢一班黃絲嘅計嘅。
But as you mentioned, it is curfew, so we are wondering if police will end up coming to this area. They were here earlier, but now as we're looking around the various streets, we don't see police. So we're going to keep checking. We don't know if, as the sun comes down, police will start moving in. I'll bring it back to you.
All right, Coco, thank you very much. We continue to watch a couple of different locations tonight here after a very full day of protests from Manhattan Beach to Venice to Brea to Hollywood. We continue to watch some areas of concern because of the curfew and people still out there on the streets. And I'm thinking, Alex, when we drive home at midnight or whatever time it is, how completely empty it is. Normally, it's not very busy at that hour anyway, but last night I drove by some LAPD officers kind of gathered around, just standing on a corner. They looked at me, I looked at them, and, just kept going because you're not supposed to be on the streets.
Well, and you also, other striking thing when you drive around the city, no matter what time of day, is all of the boarded up businesses.
Yeah.
All the businesses that we're looking forward to opening this week after coronavirus and instead are boarding up and hoping that they don't get looted. Phil Schumann has been walking for, I think, 8 hours straight. He joins us once again from Hollywood. Phil. Not sure if Phil can hear us.
I'm with you.
It looks like we may be seeing some people that are being arrested in this picture, by the way. I'm not sure if that was the same spot in downtown LA where we were looking earlier, where we saw that looting, potential looting, and now we see people being arrested. Phil Schumann, let's go to you in Hollywood.
Yeah, we're live on Bronson and Santa Monica. This is the scene that Kevin Takumi was overhead a short while ago. Huge police presence, the road blocked off as they're taking someone into custody. Several black and whites here. You can see the lights activated and people out on the streets just sort of looking at the action. They've kept us a couple of blocks away, but again, we're looking south down Bronson, that intersection you see there with the lights, Santa Monica Boulevard, where they're making some arrests.
Thank you, Phil, for keeping a watch on that location. I'm wondering about the location we talked about downtown, Alex, because a source of mine who is my unofficial mayor of downtown LA talked about that location actually being a Sprint store. But it looks like here, look at police there, and these people, looks like they just sit in there.
So we're thinking now, we're hearing that this may be curfew arrests and not looter arrests. Technically, they can arrest somebody now for breaking curfew. And in some cases, we've seen in the last few nights, Christine, people that have wanted to be arrested for breaking curfew. As a statement to have that shot of them as their sign of civil disobedience. Let's bring in Dr. Drew Pinsky, usually my co-host during this time period every night for our Fox 11 special report. Dr. Drew, our first opportunity to talk with you. Thank you for joining us from our newsroom. Of course. Your thoughts on this day?
Well, I was sort of inspired by some of what was going on today, and generally it's been a better day. My hope is that it goes no further than here, but in terms of the little outbursts that you guys are following. But we're all holding our breath. The great concern has always been, and will continue to be, how do we sustain peaceful protest when these outbursts keep occurring? 翻一下剛才一段嘅記者所講嘅嘢。佢話好多個城市咧嗰個宵禁令咧已經開始㗎啦。暫時咧強搶嘅情形咧就比起上嚟咧係少咗，但係有樣嘢咧就比琴日唔同咗嘅咧，就係喺好多城市咧已經開始咗呢個
宵禁，但係有好多示威者呢，就今晚反而呢，就唔翻去屋企。佢哋所做嘅就係想做一個公民抗命，睇落嚟佢哋係好似想被自己捉，而咁樣呢，就可以證明俾警察睇呢，佢哋嘅意志同埋佢哋對呢件事嘅不滿。希望佢哋能夠和平咁樣去示威。我都重申一句就係遊行示威或者抗議係一個社會應該有嘅事，但係用一個歪理去將政治嘅立場去強迫喺其他人身上，即係香港所講啦，你非黃就一定要係藍。或者你非黃你就係針對佢哋。重新我都係要補充一句，我呢個頻道我非黃也是非藍，這個呢係用一個理性中立嘅角度呢去同大家旁述。至於呢個旁述而家係直播緊美國呢個事情啦。如果香港係有同樣嘅遊行示威嘅，我哋本台都會去做直播，用同一個方法呢去講解翻究竟真正嘅事實係點樣，同埋喺呢度我都要幫香港警察買埋廣告，因為香港警察呢已經開始有直播㗎啦。我哋一年裏邊呢都係睇到下記者將所有鏡頭呢影向警察，我哋從來呢冇機會呢從警察嘅角度呢去睇呢件事嘅遊行示威者所做嘅嘢。咁當然啦，本台會第一時間將警察嘅直播呢都帶俾大家嘅，希望大家能夠支持香港警察啦。
Many of whom have not been allowed to work in the process, have now gone through the trauma of seeing this video and everything that has happened and the riots in the street. For these young people to be able to have this moment of peaceful protest with other people around today, talk about, the mental health benefit of that experience.
Well, yeah, I mean, you and I have talked about it a lot during the lockdown. Just being out of doors is a good thing. Being around peers is a good thing. Having a supportive cause, having a purpose, these are all important things. But unfortunately, for so many young people, as we come out of this, employment, how we, do you want to cover that?
This may be the opposite of what we're talking about. So we see people that are clearly on the run for some reason, climbing up on windows, climbing onto buildings. We don't know what they are running from or why they are running, but clearly they are running from something. You just saw a big group of people that just all headed in the same direction together. We don't have a lot of information on what prompted this.
You have to wonder why they were climbing over walls and on the run like that.
I mean, that's a level of desperation when you're doing that. That's that means you're really trying to get out for some reason.
Dr. Drew, you and Alex were starting to talk about the mental health part of things. To hear the mayor speak today and to hear that 16-year-old young man, Davian Pilgrim, address the city of Los Angeles and say what it's like to be a young black man in Los Angeles. What kind of healing does it give to hear from someone like that? A powerful young man, an athlete, a member of the Greater Zion Church. He had a lot to say about what it's like to be him.
Yeah, it particularly helps for other young people. When they have a relatable source, it really helps them feel understood. It makes them feel empowered. And to the extent that there are solutions offered, they will relate to those solutions. But I've mentioned to Alex repeatedly, I'm particularly concerned about 8 to 15-year-olds, maybe 16-year-olds right now. They were traumatized. I heard complaints from parents all over the region about depression.
你問得好啊！天直播需唔需要返工？幸好咧，小弟暫時就唔需要休2餐，但係我好年輕嘅時候已經係參加呢個社會工作或者係呢個社職嘅事情。咁始終有啲人要犧牲一啲嘢咧，去為社會咧做一啲工作嘅。咁我嘅工作暫時能夠使我有時間咧去做呢樣嘢。 就希望個社會咧能夠公道一啲。同埋加上我哋華人，我自己係香港出世，但係就喺世界上咧唔同嘅國家，亞洲好、西方國家好住過好多年。所以對好多事情嘅睇法咧，同一般人咧係有啲唔同嘅。但係最重要都係好多謝你嘅支持。
That is the word, desperation. Humans can tolerate discomfort better if they know how long they're going to tolerate it. So if you remember, you and I used to talk about this when the mayor would say, maybe June, oh, no, I'm going to go till August. That is the most destructive thing you can do for people who are trying to gain some control over their life. They're trying to gain a future. They're trying to feel okay. They're trying to be back in control. They have purpose. And when you keep ripping that away from them, that's how you get PTSD, because helplessness, powerlessness is the common phenomenon in PTSD.
Dr. Drew, thank you. Usually at this time, we would toss it to our pal Billy Bush for Extra. Extra today can be seen on KCOP Channel 13 as we continue our live continuous coverage with Alex Michelson, Dr. Drew Pinsky, Christine Devine, and Kevin Takumi, who's up in Skyfox. Kevin, what are we looking at? Do we have any idea what's going on here?
Yeah, let me give you a whole explanation of what was going on. This was the march that we last saw over by the Hollywood Cemetery. So they had come down Van Ness, they had come down to about Maplewood, and then they looped back around. It's now 7:30, so an hour and a half after the curfew here. So LAPD already had all those resources in the area for that car stop of those looters they had there.
我睇香港呢件事情嘅發生，我係由開頭開始發生已經關注。我點解出嚟做呢個片啊，或者喺 YouTube 講嘢，就係最重要就係。我記得喺8個月前呢，香港第一次有呢個私了嘅行為出現，一班年青人對住幾個年紀大嘅老人家，只有用呢個武力啊，令到我好覺得不忿，所以就站出嚟呢，就去做呢個 YouTube 嘅頻道。希望能夠咧為社會做翻啲貢獻。至於之前咧，我不斷咧係喺香港咧係拍片嘅，或者去做訪問。但係咧就因為呢個疫情嘅關係咧，暫時我無法咧係翻到香港，所以先諗到咧用呢個直播嘅方法咧，繼續去為社會出一分力。
They came in, blocked off the streets here, didn't let any of those vehicles get away. They started turning, or the cars started turning around. People were, that's the pictures you saw of people running around trying to get away. Some of these people here at this point, these people are now just complying with the officer's orders. They're telling them to prone out and lie down. You can see the skirmish line that it's been built up down there, down below. And you can also see all these cars that have been they've been left behind. And they had no way to get out of the area here. There's still some people standing around, but most of these cars, some of them have been abandoned and people took off running here. So, they've got all these people that running off to the north and running through. That's what you saw, all these people running up here, trying to climb over the walls and fences here, trying to get away from that pinching maneuver they had. Some of the cars have even come in here. Now they have no place to go as well. So people were even throwing their bikes over the wall trying to get away.
So people are literally climbing onto roofs and risking their lives over a curfew violation?
The apartment building and up into the stairwells here, and they've got all these people that they have nowhere to go now. They're on a roof. This is like a two-story apartment building, and there's no place else to go for them. So they'll just have to stay up there until they take care of all these people down there. The air unit's advising officers down below that they have people on the roof, but they're not too much of a threat. They can't really go anywhere at this point. So they're probably going to arrest probably about 100 to 150 people here. They're going to take into custody and impound about 30 vehicles that were involved in this.
What's the penalty for violating curfew?
I don't know exactly what the violation is going to be or what it's going to do. Well, I'll tell you, for one, they're going to impound. They're talking about impounding all these vehicles, so that's going to be pretty pricey in itself right there. So besides the misdemeanor violating curfew, they're probably going to have, like you saw last night, they're going to have the sheriff's bus come in here and take them all into custody. I don't know where these cars are.
滔汪，好多謝你嘅歡迎啊！其實咧，我係啱先係1年前咧係由中國再出國嘅，所以喺中國我係住咗已經一段長嘅時間，所以對內地嘅情形咧我都可以講係十分之熟嘅。所以我好明白咧，每一個地方咧係有佢唔同嘅環境，有佢唔同嘅問題。中國咧喺呢30-40年咧，我係睇住佢改變，睇住佢由一個唔係咁完美嘅制度，慢慢改變到今日。而喺外國，我亦常感受過好多俾人歧視嘅眼光，所以喺呢度我係發起一樣嘢就係最重要啦就係中國嘅興起呢，外國西方們係冇辦法阻止㗎啦。但係同時呢，亦增加咗呢華人呢喺外國嘅負擔。所以我成日都強調一樣嘢，就係話我哋中國人要做一個中國人係一件相當難嘅事。我哋冇錢，有陣時候我哋俾人哋睇死。當我哋國家而家幸好可以走向一條比較光明嘅路，又俾人哋去打壓。當中呢，有一樣嘢呢，我喺度想解釋一下嘅。點解外國人呢對我哋中國嗰個歧視咁重要呢？當中有一環呢，就係自從法輪功90幾年被中國政府認為係一個邪教之後，佢哋呢班咁嘅人出咗外國之後，喺外國製造咗好多唔同嘅新聞渠道去唱衰我哋中國。所以將來呢，我都想喺呢一方面呢向大家呢講解一下。因為喺內地嘅朋友呢，可能對西方嘅傳媒嘅方法呢唔係咁理解或者明白，就希望能夠做一個渠道呢，使更多人能夠明白。同埋我哋要唔好忘記一樣嘢，我哋唔會話針對邊個國家嘅人民，好似而家你哋都睇到就係，就算美國嘅人民其實對佢哋政府都係不滿嘅。通常我嘅睇法就係，我係會針對唔同國家欺壓我哋中國嘅政府，尤其是一班我哋叫政棍，為咗政治生存嘅人，呢班先係最大嘅罪魁禍首啊
！Attempting to try to get some sound there. Okay, now we are getting another picture here. Back into the conversation here.
Yeah, you know what? They're formulating a plan down below here, and you got the protesters. They're up on the roof up there. They're probably just going to hang out the whole time. You can see they probably got about 40 people at least down here that they have that proned out on Van Ness Boulevard, and they're still. They've made a request for those sheriff's vans to come in here and the other arrest team vans to come in here. So they're going to take each one of these persons into custody one at a time. They're going to put them in the flexi cuffs and they're going to walk them over and put them into custody, book them, everything like that. And then they're going to take all these cars that have been left here. They're going to go up and they're going to be impounded as well. So, I heard, listening to the air unit coordinate this, they were really intent on shutting it down and making a statement, and they knew they had all of the path that they were taking here, going back and forth, was one that put them boxed in here into a location here. This is that spot down there. Some people were running and trying to get away down below there, and so they have people into custody at this time all around this area here. You can see they have the entire area blocked off. They weren't letting any of those cars get away, and everyone got blocked in here. So they all tried turning around and going in different directions. But you can see at the T intersection, at the four-way intersection here, they came in and blocked that in. That's why you saw all those people just running around trying to find a way to get out of this area. And right now they're working on plan how they're going to arrest the people that are still in the street down there, and then they're going to work on a plan on how they're going to come up.
就開始旁述翻一下畫面發生嘅事情啊。已經講咗啦，多個市已經開始佢哋嘅宵禁啦。而家警察嘅做法呢，就係將而家仲喺街頭上嘅人呢，盡量呢係做一個大嘅拘捕嘅。咁喺大畫面見到呢，就係有啲人已經喺街上伏喺度等候呢個拘捕。而有啲人呢，就為咗避免拘捕呢，就爬咗上去一啲高地。而今晚呢，有一個地方個騷亂呢係比較有意思啲嘅，就係喺華盛頓。因為華盛頓呢，就係美國嘅首都啦，而係我哋大統領特朗普嘅白宮所在地，所以喺華盛頓示威呢係一個好有意思、好有意義嘅做法嚟嘅。
Yeah, Alex, we have an update to that breaking story we exclusively first broke for Fox 11 earlier today regarding the man who was arrested in downtown LA this morning for allegedly pretending to be a National Guard soldier and who had a bunch of weaponry on him. So just a short time ago, I was able to talk with a former reservist who actually knows the suspect here, and he offered quite a bit of insight about him. Let's pull up some photos right here. This was provided to us by a source. This shows LAPD arresting 31-year-old Gregory Wong just outside of LAPD headquarters at 1:30 a.m. this morning. Now, sources tell us that Wong apparently was dropped off by an Uber in downtown LA this morning, and he gets there and he gets out of the car and he's just dressed up in all sorts of tactical gear, dressed up like a National Guard soldier. We're told he then tries to join a formation of National Guard soldiers who are guarding the downtown area from looters. Well, take a look at these photos here. Those National Guard soldiers, the legitimate ones, they sniffed him out as not being one of their own because look at the gear he had. He brought an AR-15. The problem with that is National Guard soldiers use M4s and M16s. He also brought night vision goggles. He also brought all sorts of tactical gear. To put it bluntly, his gear was a heck of a lot better than what is standardly issued to National Guard soldiers. So they reported him up the chain. LAPD gets called, and they come and they interview him. They question him, and sources tell us his story was he wanted to meet up with a buddy who he said he knew in this National Guard unit, and he said he wanted to help defend stores from being looted. Now, I was able to talk to somebody who knows him, again, a former reservist, and he offered me some insight. He said that Wong had been posting on Facebook recently that he wanted to go downtown, or he was offering his services to help defend businesses from being looted. And he said he started seeming to be frustrated that nobody was taking him up on it. He also offered some insight as to what he says, how stupid of a move it was to show up around real National Guard soldiers with the gear he had. Take a listen.
No one I know in the military would do anything so stupid. He kitted himself out as if he was ready to go to Afghanistan and kick in doors. I'm a former National Guardsman. The National Guard deploy with their uniforms, body armor, riot helmets, and one weapon, usually a sidearm or a long arm. He showed up with a sidearm and a long arm. His equipment that carried his body armor was the wrong color. He essentially had a lot of extra equipment, zip ties. On his long arm, on his rifle, he had accessories that were very expensive. And for a weapon that you would leave in the armory most of the year, except to check out a few times, that seemed kind of excessive. So you could pick him out right away. And the National Guard did not deploy for this deployment with night vision issued to every soldier. And he had night vision for his weapons, and he had night vision for his helmet, and no riot shield. So he was very obviously, as soon as he stepped out of that Uber, very out of place.
And he went on to tell me he does not believe that the suspect, Mr. Wong, had any nefarious or bad intentions. He thinks he simply just made a stupid decision, and he believes he was going downtown to help. Mr. Wong was booked on felony charges for weapons, manufacturing, and possession of assault weapons. He remains in jail tonight on a $50,000 bond. Send it back to you.
Going to help. All right, bizarre story there, Bill. Thank you so much. We're going to check in now with Ed Lascos, who's in downtown LA. Ed, what do you have for us there?
And we're at 5th and Broadway right now. There are dozens of arrests. Let me get out of the way as LAPD moves some of these suspects away. Wanted at this point being charged with breaking the curfew as it's past 6 o'clock. Also, there's been some reports of looting here that LAPD is investigating, but they brought in their mobile task force that's been moving through here, taking the blocks over, and they basically sealed off this block from 5th to 4th here on Broadway, and dozens of arrests so far. There's still several protesters through the crowd that are kneeling right in the middle of the street that LAPD is slowly moving through. Remember, this is part of the protest that splintered off that was really for most of the day at City Hall, LA City Hall, protesting. It was a peaceful protest. Then this group of several hundred splintered off, came down this way on Broadway, ignoring the curfew and then taking.
大家好，喺呢度仲要補充一下呢，就係我曾經講過啦，好多城市呢都已經係被捕嘅人士已經係以數百計㗎啦。咁喺呢2日嘅騷亂中呢，好不幸呢，兩方呢都係有死亡㗎啦，已經。咁幸好呢個人數呢仲係幾個而唔上十。咁係唔同一樣嘢咧，就係警方面啊所採用嘅裝備咧，就越嚟越加嚴重。咁仲有一個事情咧，頭先記者係解釋過咧，而家亦有一批搞事嘅分子咧，自稱咧係要幫呢啲商店咧去作出一個保護嘅，而槍械嗰個擁有性咧係美國係相當之嚴重嘅，喺佢哋嘅法律裏邊咧，每個人咧都有權擁有槍械咧，去作為自衛嘅。所以呢個情形咧，同香港相比咧，佢哋嘅危險性咧係會更加大嘅。
They're refusing to leave and saying they are ready to go to jail as this protest unfurls. But as the sergeant was telling me, most of these people will be arrested, facing charges of breaking the curfew because that protest ended and they were all told to break up as the 6 o'clock curfew hit. They did not. And then the concern was for those who broke into the Sprint store and ran all the way up to the upper floors to evade arrest. Most of those suspects have now been brought out, it looks like, by LAPD. But still, as they're even bringing in more officers here, they still have more arrests to come.
對唔住，頭先聲唔好。嬲，我知道咧，香港人好多人而家係無奈嘅，但係喺無奈當中咧，我哋都要學識點樣企翻起身，因為一個成功嘅人同失敗嘅人就係失敗咗嘅人咧，佢哋唔識得爬起身；成功嘅人就係當佢失敗之後咧，學識點樣爬起身。至於香港發生嘅事情啦嚇，我就咁睇。97年之後回歸之後，香港就係中國一個新嘅孩子，佢而家開始成長，而家去到23年，佢係到咗一個反叛期。我記得鄧小平伯伯曾經講過喺一個訪問，你問過鄧伯伯咧一個問題就係話，如果香港係發生呢個對中國不滿嘅情形係點樣呢？鄧伯伯曾經講過就話，不滿嘅有佢哋啦，呢啲唔係問題嘅事。但係如果佢嘅不滿形成到係對國家有危險，或者香港講到要去獨立嘅，中國就不得不插手中央啊！所以而家呢個補短呢個新嘅國安法呢，會對香港帶嚟一個多多少少嘅穩定，所以我哋要暫時仲要忍耐下，咁呢個人大會執法嗰度呢，將呢個條例寫清楚之後呢，咁樣就香港人就能夠清清楚楚知道佢哋自己可以做啲乜嘢，同埋有啲咩事情係唔可以做。同埋一樣嘢呢，就我琴日強調過嘅，香港其實係一個行政應該行政香港行政獨立區嚟嘅，所以有時香港嘅政府呢，喺立呢個法律 或者新嘅條例方面呢，係往往呢都係綁手綁腳嘅，所以呢方面係需要國家高層呢係幫香港手嘅，唔需要無奈。好嘅時間會嚟，但係呢條路暫時仲係崎嶇嘅。
We never saw anybody come out with any sort of goods or anything like you would see for some of those other looting. So maybe it was just a bunch of people that were trying to not get arrested.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was, because that part of the building, which is the far side of the building, is not tied to the actual store itself, the Sprint store. That is sort of on the western front. That was on the eastern side where they went and broke through the doorway and up through the stairway. And in fact, that looks like some type of nature store where they've got the gates down in the area where they broke through and went up. In those areas where I think they went into the building appear to be apartments up there with people hanging out with their cell phones, looking down and taking video and pictures of all of this. So I don't think they actually breached the Sprint store itself, as we're standing right in front of it, and there's no signs of any type of break-in. But I think it was this entire building is called the Sprint building, and I think it was the far side that led up to a stairway into some of the apartments themselves.
All right, Ed Laskos, we'll check back in with you. Quite a scene to see all of those arrests underway right in front of you. Meanwhile, at 7:50, the story of this hour has been the story of the LAPD crackdown on the curfew. And that's also happening in Hollywood tonight. Phil Schuman has more on that. Phil.
Well, Kevin Takumi was overhead. We're on the ground. We're on Van Ness between Melrose and Beverly. And you see the LAPD has these streets shut down while they take these alleged curfew violators into custody. Can you see them at the end of our shot there? Gino Arias, our cameraman, zooming in. So what happens here, Alex and Christine, is that when there's an event, the LAPD officers that are handling the arrest will move in and take care of their business, and then they set up a perimeter on either end where the arrests are happening, and prevent anybody from the public or the news media getting any closer. And that's what happened here. If you're familiar with this area, we're not far from Raleigh Studios. This is Van Ness Elementary School, just off to the side here, and this is where the LAPD has blocked off the street and set up a makeshift skirmish line while they arrest these alleged curfew violators.
翻返下你個旁述先。而家喺呢個洛杉磯警察嘅做法呢，就係將一個大嘅區呢封起上嚟，然之後呢，就採取呢個手部嘅行動。因為之前幾晚呢，有好多搶劫嘅人呢，係用汽車走嚟走去，咁啊令到警察好難呢將佢截停。所以今晚呢，警察嘅做法就係將成個一個大區封鎖起嚟，而將裏邊呢搶劫嘅人呢去拘捕嘅。
Well, I think we've seen an escalation in the LAPD response and the police response in general in Southern California. They usually give people at least an hour or so. I mean, we're coming up on 2 hours past the curfew, and give them an opportunity to leave the area. And if they don't, then that's when they move in and make a.
同時啊，大家喺畫面見到嘅呢，就係有啲地方呢已經係到咗呢個深夜㗎啦。呢個呢就係美國嘅東岸，即係以紐約啊、華盛頓為主嘅。至於下邊呢，仲係白天，仲係嘅呢，就係美國嘅西岸。即係以洛杉磯各方面為主嘅，所以喺畫面咧見到唔同嘅事情咧係喺唔同嘅地方，所以佢哋嘅時差係存在嘅。
That moment has gone viral. Christina Gonzalez has been on national TV talking about it. Christina, I think I should really kind of let you set this up.
I think we're gonna play some of that moment right now.
Let me tell you what's going on. So these guys in the vehicle, let's get a little bit closer. This vehicle and those guys over there got out of the other vehicle. There's a gold store in the parking lot, and they were heading to it. And these guys came out and they said, "No, you're not."
Wow.
And he's with us. They're having a standoff here.
Oh my God.
Arguing about why they're not being allowed to break into the place. So I'm going to
those
kind of
guys,
let you listen to this.
So these are looters squaring off with community members holding weapons on the street.
Yes.
And where are all those cops that just drove past you?
They're 3 blocks down.
Yeah.
All right, now they're telling them, no, they're fine.
They're good.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
gosh.
no.
Whoa.
Oh, my God. Joe, to your right. Come on.
He's with us.
He is with me. Sir, they're... Okay, sir. They're the store owners. They were protecting the looters, sir.
Whoa.
They're protecting the stores. The looters are over there.
Stand down for a sec, please. Yeah, relax.
You're losing your looters.
We're
They're going down that way. These are the people in the store trying to stop.
You know, I am looking at that for the first time because we were not able to look at that as it was happening, obviously, and it's quite interesting. Keep in mind, we have been talking to
旁述翻一下頭先發生嘅情形啦。記者咧喺高處望到落去咧，就係有好多商店嘅老闆啊，佢哋攞出呢個武器槍械咧嚟去保護佢自己嘅生命財產嘅。幸好咧，暫時咧仲未曾有實彈發出。
Driving down, they flagged them down. I was trying to explain to them what was going on. Now, I should explain that it did get sorted out. The people you saw were the store owners and the members of the community. Monette is the African-American woman with the blue shirt. They were unhandcuffed, and it sorted itself out. As a matter of fact, I spoke to her later that night. We wanted to make sure she was okay. I think we have that tape up, don't we?
喺呢度回答一下滔汪同埋嬲嬲你所講嘅嘢。香港漢奸太多，其實香港唔係漢奸太多，而係政棍太多。其實我哋中國有14億人口，當中一定有啲係害群之馬嚟嘅。至於香港呢，的確係一個好特別嘅地方，同佢個背景，當年要割讓咗俾英國人之後，到而家係經歷過都好多唔同嘅嘢嘅。至於中國就算係中國共產黨一樣係宣傳呢個自由民主，呢個我哋嘅自由民主嘅方式同西人嘅民主方式、自由嘅想法係唔同嘅，唔代表喺中國係冇自由同埋民主嘅。但係呢一點呢，就係受到西方傳媒誤導咁樣不斷係將呢個信息呢帶俾外國人，所以呢一點呢係一個好悲哀嘅事。暫時中國政府喺呢個宣傳嘅軟勢力上邊呢，實在係做得唔好嘅，所以要靠一啲有心人啦，好似我哋咁樣去幫手做啲嘢。我自己都講咗，我中文程度唔好，只得小學4年級。喺英文方面呢，係應該冇問題嘅，但係用英文去將中國嘅好事宣揚出去呢，係唔會有人理誤嘅。所以喺呢個頻道呢，就希望能夠認識到一班有理性、中立，同埋係真真正正呢想為中國人好嘅一班網友。因為我哋中國人喺世界上7大又5大洲分遍佈全球，所以我嘅睇法唔係話就係要香港好、中國內地好，而能夠使到全球嘅華人都好嘅。
Running away from police. These look like people, and we ran into this yesterday. They want to stay past the curfew. They believe that they want to make a point, and that they will be able to do so with much more effectiveness in their point of view, in their mind, by doing this, by getting arrested, by getting this kind of attention, because in the past they haven't. The problem from when we talked to police yesterday is that when this is going on right now past curfew, other people are taking advantage. And up the street, somebody's trying to break into stuff, and that's why we were following the looters, to kind of show that there's different things going on here. And it's going to be interesting because I did not see them arresting for curfew the protesters this early on. Yep. They actually kind of break them down, separate them. But what you're looking at is really the mobile field officers, mobile field crews from law enforcement coming in. So it's going to be interesting. I hope we can come to some kind of common sense and common unity on this, because there's a point to be made, but it's getting lost sometimes. But hopefully it won't.
And Christina,
but
just,
I do think
Vincent Lane， 最初香港啊，舊年由6月開始遊行示威咧，一直咧係要話香港雙普選啊，或者中國唔好參與香港嘅事咧。中國官方一路咧都係冇一路咧係容忍住嘅，但係後期真正有人站出來話要香港獨立。試問有邊個國家能夠容忍自己嘅地方去鬧獨立嘅呢？英國唔會，西班牙唔會，所以最重要一樣嘢就係大家能夠呢保持冷靜。事情總有會過去嘅一日。目前呢1分鐘就係喺香港居住嘅人，又面對到疫情嘅影響。再加埋呢個遊行示威嘅事啊嚇，其實香港本來係一個好彩嘅地方，好多人都能夠喺嗰度揾到一碗飯食。香港其實不嬲以嚟係一個商埠，但係由一個商埠變成咗下一個政治化嘅地方呢，就變咗冇人行。其實可以睇翻少少歷史，就係當意大利、日本啊，佢哋嘅政治啊，每隔幾個月就換一個首相嘅年代，佢哋嗰陣時都係冇人行，因為當政治啊繞蓋咗民生嘅時候啊嚇，無論邊個國家都唔會有好日子過嘅。
Formed the letters of BLM.
Wow, quite a moment. This is people that we believe were trying to flee because of curfew violations. They climbed up onto a roof, and now, with full knowledge that they're being photographed by every station's news chopper in Southern California, they have now decided to spell out BLM.
And welcome this is the first we've seen of something like this.
Yeah, it is. Welcome, by the way, to a special hour of coverage. Usually this would be when we would show you Fox primetime shows. We are once again staying on into the 8 o'clock hour because there is just so much going on, and yet another historic day and historic night. And Christine, we said this last night, and it continues to be the case again tonight. We truly don't know what's going to happen next. There have been unexpected twists and turns left and right in our coverage once again today. Right now, the story seems to be this crackdown with LAPD on the protesters and how the protesters are responding. Kevin Takumi is overhead in Sky Fox. Kevin, is this the first time you've seen something like this with these letters spelled out like this?
Yeah, for people that are going to be in custody here, I mean, we've seen people do it on the beach for one reason or another, but they're on the roof here. They know everybody's looking down on them, so they kind of forming those letters down there. LAPD has gotten most of the people that they have proned out on the ground here into custody, and they're processing them just down the street, about a block away from where Phil is at down below there. But they've got them. They've got a couple of sheriff's buses that are on the way to the location here. They've got the air units going to come in here and make an announcement, tell them to tell them to come down the stairs and come out. And if that doesn't happen, if there are any stragglers up there, they're going to send a team in there, and they're going to clear the building, and then they're going to clear the stairwell and make their way up there and take them into custody from there. They did take some people into custody that had climbed the walls here and were.
大家好，喺度加入幾位網友留言嘅信息度先。每一個地方咧，群眾都可以有佢哋自己表達佢哋自己嘅權利。就算講到香港獨立，本身嚟講係可以有權講，只不過係最大一個問題就係而家反對派好，而家呢班黃絲要求嘅嘢，就算講到獨立都好，最大一個問題，我喺香港同好多朋友都傾過呢個問題，就係當然要求獨立嘅係少數人數暫時。如果全香港人都係要求香港獨立嘅，香港可能都會獨立。但係最新一個問題呢，到而家我都唔能夠有答案見到嘅呢，就係香港好多人係獨立嘅人，只要問翻佢，當你獨立之後，香港點樣能夠生存落去呢？大家睇咗或者關心咗香港呢個事情都有1年多嘅話，你就會明白一樣嘢，佢哋嘅口號只係為咗口號而嗌，完全冇諗過一個方法呢，點樣令到香港呢真係俾你獨立到之後，點樣能夠生存落去？自從孫中山先生起義，共產黨興起，得到國民嘅認同。呢啲偉大嘅政治家，佢哋唔係為咗口號而嗌，而佢哋真係有一個好長遠嘅政治嘅思想，同埋一個長遠嘅計劃，點樣令到一個地方一批人民點樣再會好。所以喺呢一點，我真係好簡單，就係話你嗌咩口號都冇用，口號之後嘅意識個深度喺邊度呢？
They're going to try to get them to come out on their own. If they don't, or if they have any stragglers up there, they'll have to send teams in to go up there and get them.
Wow. Well, I'm wondering if LAPD is thinking this is a first, or if they have thoughts that something like this could happen. We'll find out how it happens. All right, we're going to take a look now at the issues we've been following here in Los Angeles on yet another night of protests. The curfew is in place, and we are seeing arrests in a number of areas from downtown LA to Hollywood. We saw the crowd earlier this evening outside the home of the mayor of Los Angeles. First on Fox 11 earlier this morning, you saw the news about a suspect arrested with weapons and going to downtown LA pretending to be National Guard, trying to fit in with National Guard there. And of course, the beautiful, peaceful protests we've seen across the region today.
And we've seen them all day long, and we have not seen widespread reports of looting tonight. And even the arrests that we've seen have been almost entirely, it seems to be protesters that were trying to get away from curfew violations. So we haven't seen those smashed down businesses and all sorts of destruction like what we've seen in other nights here. We're going to go now to Phil Schuman. He's on the ground. Or, sorry, we're going to Ed Lascos. He's in downtown Los Angeles in the middle of all those arrests. Ed.
Yeah, and you talk about that LAPD crackdown. That's exactly what we have here. This is Broadway 5th and 4th right behind us, sealed off by hundreds of LAPD officers. This is a group of protesters who spent most of their day at City Hall. They splintered off and started marching down this way, now being led away one by LAPD. Curfew violations, the charge for most of them. As this group started maybe a couple hundred down on Broadway, it's the tactic that LAPD's been using, waiting to get the protesters in a tight, narrow spot, a gauntlet, if you will. Then they move in quickly, tactically, and surround around them on both sides of the grid, if you will, 5th and 4th Street, and there's nowhere to go. So these protesters, some of them parked their cars where some of the officers are standing now to block traffic, and many of them just sat down on the roadway, and now they're being cleared. Probably about 100 arrests here or so taking place in the last 45 minutes or so. Kevin will give us a look around over to this way. You have a lot of officers in front of some of the stores here. No looting over there at this point as those suspects are being processed. But a lot of the officers, as we look along the street, have been looking up off to the right. You see them looking up top across the street to some of the high-rise buildings here. That is the Sprint building, and there's a lot of people up there on the ledges with the windows open. Presumably their apartments looking down, and they're being told to stay there, to not throw anything down, because that was the concern. But in the Sprint building itself, it's called Sprint because right here at the bottom, it's boarded up. That's the Sprint store, and there's no sign of any looting here. But the far side of the building is a doorway that leads up to the apartments above. And as these protesters were running down here and police moved in, they began to scatter, trying to run, basically to run from LAPD. I know, rather foolish.
各位網友，提到好多留言嗰度都係講警察而家大家喺呢個職場嘅畫面見到就係美國警察所用嘅方法。其實咧，今次美國呢個騷亂同埋遊行示威，警察同以往嘅做法真係有個好大嘅分別。對比嚟咧，目前到而家啦，佢哋嘅武力程度真係同以往嚟對比係相當之低嘅。希望呢個事情繼續落去都係咁樣，因為好多示威者其實尤其是今晚喺洛杉磯咧，呢個強搶嘅事情咧係少咗，而大部分去到而家呢分鐘已經有數百人咧被捕㗎啦。咁佢最主要被捕嘅原因就係佢哋都係抵觸呢個禁制令嘅。
But as we've been saying tonight, there's some of the protesters running, trying to make a mad dash to elude arrest, and it's led to some of the areas being breached. But none of the stores here. There's a mattress center over there, a fitness center. Some of them boarded up. Most of them, actually, as I look around, boarded up with plywood. But no signs of any looting here. The sergeant telling me the only case was some of them who broke in and went up to those upper apartments and hid up there in the Sprint building. So the arrests continue here. This has been, for the most part, I would say peaceful in a sense after they said some of the projectiles came flying down and LAPD brought in some extra patrols to make sure they had the security up top. And now there's still more arrests and they want to clear these cars as well and get this area of Broadway open as the arrests continue here in downtown. Christine, Alex, to you.
Well, welcome sight to not see the looting that we've seen in the past few days. I guess when you have something like a protest, where people have great passion, you're going to have those people who violate the curfew and are willing to be arrested, be placed in these cuffs here, to be taken away, because certainly it's well known that the curfew is 6 p.m. So you have these people here who obviously knowingly stay down past the curfew.
喺呢度插入各位留言嘅問題上，喺點咧先大家注意一樣嘢，好似我哋本台做呢個直播都講咗，我哋唔係話為咗要恥笑美國或者係幸災樂禍佢哋，因為就算喺美國都有好多華人生存喺度，我相信每一個國家或者每一個人都唔想去自己住嘅地方咧發生咁嘅情形。至於中國同美國嘅問題喺歷史上嚟講已經係好悠久嘅，尤其是由八國聯軍入境開始，美國佬都已經係有份嘅。而二次大戰之後，美國興起變成呢個世界嘅大國，佢一向嘅政治手法都係要干預其他國家，係先能夠得到呢個得益嘅。至於我哋身為華人，最重要一樣嘢就係我哋撇除政治去講，因為無論一個王朝好，一個政治嘅取態好，都有佢興起衰落嘅。呢個目到前到而家呢，幸好我哋中國共產黨採取所用嘅方法係暫時好適合我哋中國。 而唔同一樣嘢咧，喺政制上大家要明白就係西方嘅自由民主選舉咧，有一樣唔好處就係、有時係喺美國，其實係得兩黨制，每4年就選舉一次，但係通常咧一個總統就可以連任2次，即係做8年。而佢哋通常嘅操作方法就係、好啦，你自由黨譬如咁講，能夠做咗8年。你有咩做得唔好國民開始唔應該選你啦，就選翻呢個共和黨嘅。咁響新上任嘅黨呢，就可以將之前嘅總統所做嘅衰嘢就抹過去，就係話呢啲唔關我哋事，我哋可以重新再開始。咁兩個黨其實就喺度換嚟換去，換嚟換去。但係當中嘅政客佢哋嘅利益一路冇改變過，而中國嘅制度睇落去，好多人話係一黨制，但係其實我哋中國呢個人大入邊亦有好多唔同嘅黨派，只不過我哋做嘢嘅方法同佢哋唔同，所以喺呢度都係呼籲大家一聲。我哋要理性討論大前提，而唔係話要將我哋嘅怒憤呢去指向某個國家嘅民眾，而最重要係理解清楚呢，我哋針對嘅係佢哋嘅政治制度。由呢次嘅騷亂啦大家就已經睇到美國入邊佢哋自己含有嘅內部嘅問題係有幾大。如果唔係嘅，呢次遊行示威就唔會變成一個咁激烈嘅示威㗎啦。
All sheriffs, all chiefs of police, and the profession as a whole that thoroughly denounce the actions of the officer that caused George Floyd's death. But we can't stop there. It's the other 3 that stood by and did nothing. We denounce them just as strongly, and we want to make sure they are brought to justice as well. And that should be a clarion call to all the entire profession. It is just not acceptable, period. We have to hold people accountable when they cross the line, but we have to support the system the way it works. We have to support legitimate law enforcement functions.
And is the National Guard still on standby?
They are still deployed throughout the county, and they're assisting us by protecting and securing a lot of the places that have been previously vandalized, and some of our assets of high value, obviously the sheriff station, police stations, the large shopping centers that were targeted of looting before. So they're a force multiplier for law enforcement.
All right, Sheriff, I don't want to take up much of your time. Just one more question. To people out there who may be watching this, who are thinking about looting tonight, who are thinking about causing violence, what would you say to them?
That's a bad idea. We'll be coming for you.
Thank you, Sheriff. All right, we'll send it back to you guys. That's Sheriff Alex Villanueva.
If possible, Haley, I'd be interested to know what he thinks should happen to the... One more question. What he thinks should happen to those other 3 officers in terms of what specific charges should they face?
Sheriff Alex is asking you, what do you think should happen to the other 3 officers involved in Minneapolis? What charges do you think that they should face?
They should face similar charges. I'm not very familiar with the Minneapolis or the Minnesota Penal Code. However, they should face, to the fullest extent of the law, charges similar to the ones that the main person already faced.
各位網友好啊！我喺留言中咧見到大家喺度好激烈咁討論緊香港同內地嘅關係。希望大家明白，如果香港同內地係分化，我哋普通人都有一個矛盾嘅，我哋就中咗人哋外國勢力嘅圈套。佢哋嘅做法就係想我哋內地或者我哋國家裏邊作出一種人鬥人嘅情形，所以希望大家唔好中呢個圈套。我哋有一個理性嘅方法咧去睇呢個世界。最重要一點就係每一個人都係想安居樂業。如果往往俾呢個情緒影響到自己頭昏腦脹嘅時候，就社會咧就唔會安寧。 所以大家希望理性諗一諗，其實冇分話咩地區嘅人啊，內地好、香港好，甚至其他地方好，只要大家記得一樣嘢，我哋都係華人，我哋都係龍的傳人、皇帝子孫，我哋係為咗我哋嘅民族，而唔係為咗單單某一個地方。
Which involves malice aforethought if it was an act that occurred right at the point where there's no planning involved. That's always been one of the hurdles in charging law enforcement when they do something like that. But it is happening occasionally, and when the facts are there, it needs to happen. We need to make sure that district attorneys understand this, that the community has to hold our profession accountable when they cross the line.
Some protesters are saying we need to defund the police here in LA. What do you say to that?
I'd say, you know what, we live in a democratic society. If we poll the majority of our community, they'll say, of course not. We want to fund the police department fully, the sheriff's department. We're the most understaffed and underfunded agency in the entire nation.
希望大家能夠冷靜落嚟。我都講咗，我喺呢個頻道好希望係大家理性去討論嘅，我唔想見到我嘅出發點係令到人哋理性，而喺呢個討論嗰度大家係感覺到唔舒服。如果咁樣做嘅，我就令到我好失望。希望大家好地思維一下，究竟係想討論啲乜嘢呢
？Focusing on the Sprint building where we saw, it seemed to me maybe 30 people run inside the Sprint building. Now you think of Sprint being the store with the phones. This is the building that also has apartments. People live above this building. So we are watching now. It looks like LAPD officers are looking inside that entrance where people were able to go inside with the entire crowd going inside and police making those arrests due to curfew violations.
So let's bring into the conversation now Moses Castillo, who many of us have dealt with in his role as an LAPD detective. He's now retired from that. Congratulations on that. But he can now offer insight after so many years working on the force. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. And first, if you will, give us some insight on what the law enforcement is doing tonight and maybe why the decision to be clearly sending a message when it comes to the curfew.
Well, the curfew is actually a tool for law enforcement to utilize without having to declare an unlawful assembly. Once it's the curfew time has come and we start enforcing it, I think that's a very good idea because if we don't enforce it, then the curfew means nothing. So I think that's the message. If you're going to be out there peacefully, do it before the curfew time begins. And then after that, go home. Stay home, stay safe. And if you do that, we should hopefully get back to normal in the next few days.
Let me ask you, as you've watched the past few days play out, what is your take on the LAPD Department?
呢啲討論咧係好嘅，同埋有好多嘢希望大家唔好誤會去理解。每個人有權選擇佢自己嘅思想同埋做法，亦有權咧係選擇去一個地方咧係認為適合佢自己嘅。
Training officer, we raced to the south end to calls of looting and fires and owners being held hostage. And I mean, it was awful. And back then we were being shot at and so many help calls went out. So thankfully, this time around, we're not seeing that much of it here. However, we do see some officers shot throughout the country.
網友，
That's the really
我只可以講講我自己個人嘅想法。我曾經住過4-5個唔同嘅國家，喺呢個世界上啦嚇，冇一個國家係完美嘅，冇一個地方咧係天堂，亦冇一個地方係地獄，只有咧係適唔適合自己嘅。至於去或留，點樣生活係每個人有佢自己嘅決定，我哋應該要學識點樣去尊重人哋嘅決定。
quote unquote, the bad element. So they're not going to give the National Guard that much of a hassle, I don't think. If you noticed yesterday when there was more looting, wherever the National Guard was not, that's where the looting was taking place. So I'm grateful that.
好啦，翻嚟一下旁述嘅嘢，最主要都喺唔同嘅城市當進入咗呢個宵禁之後，警方嘅做法就係將每一個區大型封鎖起嚟，然之後咧將反對呢個宵禁嘅人咧作出拘捕。而多個城市啊例如洛杉磯啊。華盛頓啊，咁已經有好多地方咧，超過幾百人被拘捕㗎啦。警方嘅做法就係希望啲人出嚟遊行示威，係保持返一個冷靜同埋理性。而夜晚如果太多人仲係停留喺街上邊咧，就形成咧。俾到搶劫嘅犯呢，有機會係大肆搜掠嘅，所以呢方面呢，好多人就起碼喺政府警察方面就希望啲人呢遊完示威之後呢，係自己翻屋企嘅。但係睇落去呢，今晚就同以往唔同，就係好似好多示威者啦，係自願俾警察去拘捕，佢哋嘅行為呢，可能係作出一個叫做公民抗命嘅表達嘅方式。
Well, to be frank, it's sometimes it's that stress of damned if you do and damned if you don't, and if we make one wrong move, we're being crucified. And those are the real challenges that we face day in day out. But that doesn't excuse our actions. We are police officers. We are expected to uphold the law, and it's important that we do that with the highest.
喺呢度，我想同留言嘅網友講一聲，我哋中國人嘅説話叫做四海之內皆兄弟也。如果連一個我呢個咁細嘅頻道入邊，大家都遇到一個咁樣嘅咁極端嘅爭拗嘅時候，咁你哋而家都已經明白到點解香港會有咁大嘅遊行示威走出嚟，就係因為往往我哋人類最大嘅敵人就係無知。無知嘅意思就係往往呢，我哋係對我哋身邊嘅事情呢係好理解，但係一離開咗我哋身邊以外嘅嘢往往呢，我哋係不大清楚。所以引致到咧，大家喺思想上咧係有分離嘅。呢個係唔重要嘅，只要大家唔好將唔同嘅想法先去爭拗，不如咧先大家討論下，我哋有乜嘢係大家認同嘅咧？我第一個認同嘅就係話，我哋身為華人，我哋出發點就係希望全世界嘅華人都係好。先講講呢個大家能夠認同嘅出發點先啦，然之後我哋再慢慢將我哋認為睇到唔公理、唔合理嘅嘢，先再去慢慢分析。And part of that training, we've learned to de-escalate and use resources and buy some time by maybe communicating and using non-lethal weapons instead of going straight to using force. Maybe just slow it down a little bit, give yourself some time, get these professionals out there to help us intervene. That unit, before maybe there were maybe a handful of police officers. Now I believe there are over 30, maybe 40 plus police officers assigned to that unit. And we're very proactive when it comes to that. So I know that there's another element of mental health evaluation unit where, let's say, for instance, we know of Johnny who is due to have his prescriptions run out later this week. Well, they'll run out and knock on Johnny's door and say, "Hey, Johnny, how you doing? Do you still have your medication?" And if they say no, well, tell you what, we'll help you. We'll take you to your pharmacy to refill. How about that? Can we do that? So we're being proactive to prevent stuff like this. And that's the stuff that you don't hear about. That's the stuff that goes untold. And I think it's time that the community is aware that we do have a lot of things happening that's creating change. And we want the trust with the community, because without the community, we can't solve crimes alone. Doesn't matter how great of a detective you are. We need the trust from the community so they could call us when they need us.
and they could call us when we need them.
Detective Castillo, thank you so much for your service to our community. It is good to see you and some interesting perspective there. And I'm glad that people got to hear about that program. It sounds like it's doing some important work. We go back to Ed Lascos in downtown L.A.
And we want to bring in Captain Tim Kalkas, LAPD. Sir, we've been talking about the Sprint building and when the protesters started to run, basically, to elude arrest. Several of them, we understand, ran inside the building itself?
They did. They had approximately 30 people that went inside the building. At this point right now, security has asked us to help remove them from that building. So we're going to take them out one at a time, individually, just check them for warrants, make sure that they're not sought by anybody, and then probably release them, because obviously they were inside, so we're not arresting them for curfew.
Did they breach any of the apartments in there?
No, they didn't breach any of the apartments. I guess there's a fairly large-sized basement area that they went into.
And we've been watching the last hour here or so, all the mass arrests. I guess they'd call you maybe a couple hundred already?
Right, yeah. We took approximately 250 into custody at this location. The crowd obviously was fairly peaceful earlier. They ended up going down southbound on Broadway. There were reports that there was some looting and some broken windows, so we stopped the crowd there. We then announced that this was an unlawful assembly, even though we don't have to, because it's a curfew violation. We had them have an opportunity to leave the area. They chose to stay. We then informed them that we were going to be making arrests, and they allowed themselves to
翻嚟旁述下，剛才咧就已經報道到咧，就喺洛杉磯咧依然仲有大量強搶嘅事情發生。咁警方咧有番説話講咗咧，其實都好啱香港警察嘅。所以都講啦，如果喺呢啲騷亂嘅情形之下，大家係唔遵從警察所講嘅，所有警力咧就集中咗喺呢啲咁嘅騷亂情形之下，警方就係無法再次或者用多啲嘅資源咧去保護其他冇參與呢啲遊行示威嘅人嘅安全。所以呢一年嚟香港咧係多咗好多劫案啊、打劫啊，係因為咧呢班咁嘅示威人士暴徒令到香港警察嘅警力咧係減低咗嘅。所以早一日能夠回復呢個平靜咧，大家都能夠有個安全嘅環境去生活嘅。
So there you go. Here's some more of the protesters that the captain was just talking about who went inside the Sprint's building and were moved out from the basement area. They went in there hiding, trying to evade arrest when the protesters were sealed in here on Broadway between 4th and 5th. And as the captain was telling us, maybe about 40 of them in there, and maybe they brought out maybe a couple dozen at this point by my count. And they're facing a little more of a serious charge because they actually made entry into a building. It says the Sprint building above, you think of telephones and mobile phones, but that's not that is the store, right? And it's all boarded up, so they did not breach that. They actually went into a side door that went into the building, and the house is several levels, several floors of apartments, but they actually hid out in the basement areas, the captain was telling us, and now the arrests are underway. And you can still see, look at those are some of the people who live in the apartments here. They've been getting a show, watching. Well, although when the LAPD first moved in here, they were on the horns telling everybody, don't throw anything down, get inside, don't get involved in this. It's not your fight, and that was a big concern because there was some reports that some projectiles were being thrown down by officers when they first arrived here, but now the scene is orderly. Here's some more of these people being brought out. Those are the ones the captain say who went inside the building and hid into the basement trying to run from LAPD. And think again, they did not get away. They're now on their way to jail. The charge for most of the 250 arrested, breaching the curfew. These a little more of a serious charge. These 40 suspects here because they did breach the building and hid inside. Trespassing charges, to say the least. Christine.
係大家好，喺度講咧我自己對香港一國兩制嘅睇法好多朋友都覺得出奇，點解香港回歸嘅時候，中國係會俾香港有一個獨立嘅行政嘅方法？其實我哋中國由鄧伯伯開始要開放，走向呢個社會主義，其實都係想將國家個政制咧慢慢去更改嘅。呢40年嚟，如果大家能夠睇翻剛剛開始開發嘅時候，中國嘅政制同今日嘅政制係點樣呢？其實香港呢個特殊嘅環境呢， 係幫到中國或者係中央啦，能夠更加學多啲咧，明白所謂西方呢個民主自由嘅社會嘅運作係點樣嘅。到咗正式50年完咗回歸中國嘅時候，可能分分鐘我哋中國嘅民主自由仲會領先過西方嘅民主自由。所以而家今日睇到嘅政制啊嚇，唔代表喺20幾年後啊嚇，同樣係同一個政制。中國共產黨有好處就係可以自己係不停喺度自己更新緊，喺度改變緊。以前咧，中國係好少有機會啊嚇，去親身睇唔到民主自由政制下嘅方法，而香港咧就其實幫咗中國咧學咗好多嘢嘅。
While their LAPD colleagues work through these apartment buildings that are on either side of us here to try to take those people who are alleged curfew violators now into custody. You see that chopper still circling overhead. It's been circling probably for the past hour or so. And then Skyfox and the other news media helicopters high.
水光餐，多謝你嘅加入啊
Compare and contrast tonight versus the other nights?
Oh, it's much calmer, much calmer. Of course, we have been at this location off of the main street, Sunset, Hollywood, Santa Monica, for the past hour or so. But as we drove through Hollywood, we really didn't see any large groups of people at all. Really didn't see many people outside on the streets at all. So it's a much calmer feeling here tonight.
Yeah, pretty dark on the streets of Hollywood too, as it's now under those curfew orders. We have seen quite a crackdown in Hollywood over the last hour or so, and we will continue to follow that story. Phil Schuman, thank you. We will get back to you in a moment. Next, we're going to go to Susan Hirasuna in Brea. We haven't checked in with Susan in a while. She's been following this protest that's been underway for hours now, Susan.
Hours, yeah. You know, one of the organizers told me that she got here around 11 o'clock. I think the scheduled time to start was around noon, 12:30 or so. You see now we have a much smaller group, and quite frankly, I think a lot of people have sort of cycled in and out, but they're still passionate even all these hours later. They've also been marching between all of the intersections here at the corner of Birch and Brea Boulevard. I'm sorry, it's just my generation, but there's a little part of me that is reminded of Monty Python and the marching up and down the square. However, they are very passionate, and they are making a point. There are a lot of cars are going by, and they are honking in support of this protest against the murder of George Floyd. They have all been very articulate and very passionate about what it's been lovely.
留言呢就少少補充嘅。我嘅睇法呢就係香港一國兩制其實呢就好多人想去破壞，就係唔想中國能夠實現到一國兩制。如果我哋都已經話係一國兩制係失敗嘅，咁即係話我當年鄧伯伯嘅思想咧都係失敗。呢點我係唔係幾認同嘅。香港目前嘅情形只係遇到啲阻滯，呢個阻滯咧係有辦法糾正嘅，所以我係絕對反對。不論係黃絲嗰邊好，或者深藍嗰邊嘅人啦話香港一國兩制已死呢樣嘢，我哋唔可以進入外勢力嘅圈套而去向呢方面去思想。有唔好嘅地方，大家努力去將佢做好。香港嘅好亦係內地嘅好，內地嘅好亦係香港嘅好。仲加上有一樣嘢，我諗好多網友冇諗過嘅，就係除咗喺大中華啦咁講啦， 即係包括埋澳門啊、香港、台灣以外，全球都仲有6000幾萬嘅華人嘅，所以我哋中國啊一舉一動唔係淨係影響到喺內地或者香港人嘅生活，而係影響到全球6000幾萬華人嘅前途。所以呢方面，大家希望有一個大啲嘅宏觀去睇呢件事。
Be a part of the government, and she was a little shocked that I would suggest that, but then I think she may be considering it. I'm not sure, but you gotta admire these people. They have been it feels like they've been nonstop marching from corner to corner all the way up to Imperial Highway and back again. So we will send it back to you, Alex and Christine, but it is inspirational to say the very least, to see what these young people have to say and what they're willing to do to get that change.
Yeah, such energy out there tonight after such a long day already. Susan Hirosuna, thank you. We love hearing from those young people. We want to get to Coco McAvoy. She's Windsor Square, which was packed before. It looks fairly empty behind you now.
Hi, Alex. Yes, it is empty. It's much different from about 30 to 40 minutes ago when this area was completely packed with people. There were people with megaphones sharing their messages peacefully. And you can see, though, that the area is completely cleared out now. We followed protesters for a little while. They were walking down this way, and then a few protesters have dispersed into different areas. But again, it remained peaceful out here. And you can see in the aftermath, there's no trash in the street. There's just a couple of the fence here that's been knocked over, but there were a lot of people here, about 200 people by our count. But there was also, so there's a protester that just said Black Lives Matter driving by. There's people here and there in the neighborhood, but it's much quieter now. But there was a beautiful moment here earlier when LAPD was in Windsor Square with protesters and took a knee. If we can show that video here from the aerial view, you can take a look at that. And now you're seeing that video that I'm talking about when LAPD took a knee with protesters here. And that's something that's really been asked by protesters for the past several days. Protesters have been asking police officers to take a knee or to march with them. And so that was a moment that is special here. But something else that we're noticing outside of the mayor's house is there are some LAPD officers here and behind this gate. And so we don't know if the mayor is now home. We've been trying to look and see so we can talk to him and see his thoughts, if he has any thoughts following the protest outside of his house here. But again, it was peaceful, and now protesters are not in the area. Back to you.
That's interesting. Of course, the mayor himself took a knee with protesters in downtown LA this morning, Coco. He was asked about it during his press conference today about those protesters. He said they have every right to do that, be there and look forward to a conversation with them. But there was no moment like he came home and got out and they were all there. That never ended up happening, it sounds like, Coco.
No, that did not end up happening. We were following protesters for a while, and then now that we're back here, we're noticing that there's LAPD behind the gate. And it looks like, I don't know if you can see, there's a TV on in the window, and that was not the case earlier. So we're thinking maybe by chance the mayor is home. But again, we're going to keep looking out for him because it would be great to talk to him and see his thoughts following the protest right in front of his home.
Or maybe his wife could be home too. Coco McAvoy, thank you very much. We will get back to you. Now we are looking at live pictures. This is in downtown Los Angeles where Ed Laskos is reporting live. You can see there's a whole group of protesters that were not following the curfew orders and are now under arrest. Ed Laskos, are you standing by?
I sure am. You were talking about 250 protesters who are now cuffed with those
喺度講述翻一下所發生嘅事情。好多畫面咧，大家見到啦，陸續咧有好大量嘅示威者咧就俾警察捉咗㗎啦。而
protest ended at around 5:30. The big group of people kind of splintered off into 2 or 3 main groups, and one of those main groups, started to come down Broadway here. And as police watched them, they hit Broadway and 5th, and that's when the tactical squad moved in and basically shut off that grid, shut off Broadway between 4th and 5th. And as you look around here, nothing but high buildings, 7, 8 stories high, so there was nowhere to go. And they had them trapped, if you will, and then they started making the arrest. There's the infamous Sprint store and building we've been talking about. I say infamous because a lot of the protesters broke through that door at 430 Broadway is the address, and started climbing up, going into the stairway upstairs, also going to the stairway to a basement. They broke inside not to loot the Sprint store, but to try to hide from police in that part of the apartment building. So the captain telling us a little while ago live here on Fox 11 News that they went in, LAPD, and went into the basement. They've been going floor by floor. Protesters did not breach into the apartments, but they went inside, and they've pulled out about 40 of the protesters hiding out in there, trying to get away from LAPD. They're still bringing out, I think, still waiting for maybe a couple more before they clear that building. And those people who thought they were going to get away, no, they are trapped. And actually, as the captain was telling us,
各位網友好。
serious charges now than
喺呢度呢，只係想再強調翻一下本台個初心同埋個初衷，點解會出嚟做呢個直播嘅？本身呢個頻道呢，就8個月前呢，都其實已經開始陸續有出片係講香港呢個遊行示威騷亂嘅事情。只不過呢，因為疫情嘅關係呢，我冇法再喺香港進行呢個採訪同埋直播，所以呢，咁啱先呢，加上呢次美國呢個遊行騷亂呢，剛剛好呢，就有一個好好嘅比較呢，嚟睇翻香港呢1年裏邊所發生嘅事情，咁樣大家就可以喺一個第一時間睇到啊嚇。就算喺唔同嘅國家，如果有遊行騷亂發生啦嚇，警察嗰個做法係點樣？而喺呢度，我始終都係講一聲係會支持香港警察嘅執法。每一個人生存喺呢個社會，每個人都有佢自己嘅苦處，每一個人都係想能夠安居樂業，所以無論喺邊度發生咩事情都好，對到自己生活有影響嘅就唔係一件好事。至於美國嘅政府，或者應該講美國政客一路以嚟嘅操作，都係會干擾人哋其他國家嘅事情。咁呢一次騷亂呢，就睇到啊，其實美國呢本身自己都有好大個問題，尤其是呢個種族歧視嘅事件。如果唔係，就唔會有咁多人啦出嚟啦做呢個遊行示威嘅。
But in this area, Broadway along this stretch, no, this is strictly LAPD. Boy, I would say a couple of hundred officers here that moved into their black and whites, their motor patrols, just sealing off the entire area. So no, I have not seen the National Guard here in downtown tonight. I know you and Alex were talking earlier about the strange, and Phil about the strange sight of National Guardsmen over in Hollywood, the Stars, and driving last night in the area over at Century City, over by the big mall over there on Santa Monica Boulevard. Very strange there. You'd see many National Guardsmen in pairs of 2 walking, patrolling in the darkness. The streets were very quiet, very lonely because of the curfew, other than the guardsmen walking, and also on Melrose as well last night because they were concerned about looting. That did not happen, fortunately. So the guard in those areas very present. But here in this area of Los Angeles, downtown on Broadway along 5th and 4th, no, strictly LAPD at this point.
So this situation here clearly under control. From time to time in the past, we would see teams of LAPD officers take off in a race down the street, perhaps to handle a situation. Have you seen any movement here from LAPD or any officers reaching down the street?
喺呢度呢，我仲想強調一下一件事。雖然而家美國發生呢個遊行示威對呢個人民呢係唔係一件好事，亦有好多人呢覺得呢個係美國呢個自己嘅暴力。但係有一樣嘢呢，國家主席或者而家現任嘅 中國政府都話，我哋而家呢個世界上係人類命運共同體。其實我哋喺呢個世上，而家已經所有嘅國家都係大家有一個牽連咧，係冇咗邊個都唔得嘅。所以喺呢度啊嚇，就希望大家要搞清楚一樣嘢，我哋係針對人哋一個種族啦，一個國家嘅人民啦，事實我哋就係單單針對佢哋嘅政制。一個唔好嘅政制，我哋中國人有個説話叫做民怨必反。如果個怨氣去到1分鐘咧，係冇辦法令到國民覺得合理嘅，人民就自然會出嚟反映㗎啦。咁至於香港嘅問題就比較更加複雜，因為從中想得到利益嘅政棍實在太多。有時我哋都唔會講佢係唔係話走狗賣國賊，一個人就係有人性。最好笑一樣嘢就係我喺西方國家呢，有好多人會問我，西方人同我哋中國人有乜分別？喺中國呢，好多朋友問我，咁西方人中國人同西方人有乜分別呢？但到最後只可以講一句就係、人就係人，唔論你係黑人、白人、黃種人，所有嘅人嘅七情六欲呢係一樣嘅。個出發點嘅自私自利啊，每個人都有，只個問題係去到幾多嘅啫。
Instead of violence, there was unity. They took a knee in the middle of the street. Members of the LAPD joined them in prayer. It was powerful.
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen.
It's the best feeling. And I pray in return for them and for everybody in the community.
It's not a stretch to predict that this very street could once again be filled with people who are angry. But for this morning, the anger was replaced with a sense of hope and rebirth. Later, more people joined the march. The number swelled to over 1,000. They talked about what it meant to them today.
That there are some things that are too important to not speak about.
No, I'm protesting for, basic human rights. So, people are treated unfairly, and I don't think that's okay.
And what you saw there was a really beautiful, peaceful protest. You saw there probably a parent there with her child. We're looking now here at young adults or young people here who have been detained because of the curfew violation. This is downtown Los Angeles. It was a moment where they all ran into one building that's an apartment building and kind of holed up there until LAPD came in, and they have them there in those zip-tie cuffs. You did hear from the LAPD officer about what they would face as well from our Ed Lascos. All right, Haley Winslow has been covering this story for us as well. She is in Hollywood. Haley, let's go to you now.
Hey, Christine, we're on Santa Monica Boulevard and Gordon Street, where police have some cars from the protests surrounded. They're asking people to get out of their cars, leave their vehicles stranded in the road, and walk over to this building. Now, they have given them several warnings that curfew was in place at 6 o'clock and that they need to go home. This parade has been going on all day. Protesters making sure their voices are heard, not caring about the curfew. So now they've told them to get out of their cars. You probably can't tell, but there's cops on both sides. They've made pretty much a circle around them. So they're having them get out of their cars, and they just walked out with their hands up, and they're sitting on the side of the building, obviously about to get zip-tied, like these ones over here.
Haley, last night in Hollywood, we saw cars like this all clustered in one area. We had thought that they were looters because police were pulling stuff out of their vehicles from businesses that apparently had been looted. But I wonder if some were indeed also curfew violators. So basically, LAPD is sending a message here that if this curfew is in effect and you are out on the streets, you are subject to arrest, even if you're driving around, checking things out, or just happen to be in the area. If you don't have a place to go, like work or a purpose to be on the streets. They are sending this message: no, you can't just cruise around Hollywood like you would normally on a night that's, summer for some. So Haley, as you're looking around here, how many vehicles, give or take, are you talking about here?
In this area, there's probably on this street off of Gordon just about 5 or 6, but around this area we've been running for pretty much all night. And in the Hollywood area, I mean, there's hundreds. I mean, you guys have seen the aerials of the size of this protest. It's probably the biggest one we've seen. It's been peaceful up until recently, with people refusing to go home, and now they're getting excited. And I wanted to bring up one other thing on the way here from interviewing the sheriff. We did see some looting. Somebody had set a recycle bin on fire, trying to set the building on fire next to it. Between our bodyguard and my photographer Justin and I, we actually hosed it down. There happened to be a car wash nearby, so we got it put out. But that's the only looting that we've seen so far, but the arrests are starting now.
係回覆翻一下呢個旁述先。暫時咁多個城市咧，就今晚個聚點咧，反而去咗呢個加州嘅荷里活，喺嗰度咧仲有大批嘅市民咧。係喺呢個禁制令之下咧，仲係喺街上搗亂嘅。咁其他城市好似洛杉磯啊嗰啲咧，就暫時係警方係能夠控制得到，亦係作出大量嘅拘捕。咁其他城市咧就華盛頓嗰邊咧，依然都仲係有人喺街上。但係嗰個激烈嘅情形呢，就少咗好多。而加上呢，就呢個國民保護軍呢，呢一次嘅幫助呢，只係暫時喺後勤幫呢個警察，而同上次92年喺洛杉磯暴動出嚟壓止呢個暴動者嘅事情呢，仲未發生，但係而家有個比較大嘅憂慮呢，就係有好多商店嘅老闆呢，開始自己持槍保護佢哋嘅商店，所以警方呢都好擔心呢，如果喺混亂嘅情形之下，有人擦槍走火呢，就會去到一個一發不可收拾嘅地步嘅。
Yeah, he's the one that they shot at, that you heard, Christine, just a minute ago. So they have the rubber bullets drawn and see what happens.
So we're seeing some people with their hands up, other people sitting there peacefully. Doesn't seem like anybody's agitating any of these officers, right?
No, they're mostly in zip ties, so they don't have much of a choice. No, we just came over here. We were running down the block, just down the street, and there were probably 40 people who were running in front of us who did seem to get away. These protesters in particular, they were able to get surrounded on both sides from either end of the street.
Have you?
I would try to go talk to them, but I
喺度回覆一下一個有趣嘅問題。不正常人的正常人問：有咁多示威者啊俾自願俾警察捉啊，警察能夠安排到佢哋被捕咩？呢個問題咧要翻去咧60年代呢個反越戰時代嘅時候嘅 hippie 時代。美國呢個公民抗命嘅方法就係要警察拘捕佢哋，等拘捕嘅人數越多呢，就係可以證明到呢，越多人係支持呢個運動，所以同香港對比呢係有啲唔同嘅。佢哋而家好似去到已經有啲地方深夜。嗰個宵禁令係存在，佢依然係靜坐坐喺度等警察去捉，就係想話俾市民聽，或者話翻俾佢國民聽， 支持呢個運動嘅人數係有幾多嘅，所以呢點呢，就同香港示威遊行嘅地方同埋真正呢個公民抗命嘅做法係唔同嘅。
Civil rights attorney, you've seen a lot in your time in Los Angeles here. What do you make of tonight?
A definite show of force from the LA, a massive crackdown.
We may be having some problems with Leo's Skype connection. Hopefully we can get that fixed and get back to Leo.
咁講，警察唔係無理拘捕嘅，因為我都講咗喺多個城市咧已經有咗呢個宵禁㗎啦。咁站喺法律嘅角度嚟睇，如果你係唔跟隨呢個法律嘅，警察已經係有權拘捕佢哋㗎啦。當然啦，呢個行為嘅所受到嘅刑罰係唔會好重嘅。
And a determination to bring some type of law and order back in the community. I would submit to you also that the curfew has been very effective because it limits the opportunities for the looters to populate. And I think that the question here is, when will this protesting terminate? When will the looting terminate? And what would be the magic bullet that would stop it? And I would submit to you, as long as those other officers are still outstanding and not being convicted, there will be a basis or reasons to continue the protest.
Well, because this could become, like when we talked about coronavirus, Leo, it's like you shut down all of society, you can stop the coronavirus, but then there's all the consequences of doing that. I mean, this is a pretty dramatic measure, the idea of putting the county of Los Angeles under curfew at 6 o'clock. Several cities even earlier shutting down
係網友神人你好，香港示威者呢，通常呢警方未採取行動捕捉嘅時候呢，都係大大聲嘅，但係通常呢俾拘捕嘅時候呢，多數人都係一樣係點講冇乜反抗而拘捕，但係佢哋都係想逃避警方嘅拘捕，而同美國呢一種真正公民抗命嘅做法，靜坐喺度等警察嚟捉，係完全唔同嘅。
Universal acceptance that the killing of George Floyd is wrong, but total chaos among state, local, and national leaders as to how do we resolve this. I would also further submit to you that this matter should be resolved immediately because of the fact that Americans have been locked up in their house for a period of time due to the pandemic, and now we're further locked up, and it creates a tremendous amount of tension. The politicians have to stop bickering.
So a lot of people are wondering why the delay in charging those other three officers, if they will in fact be charged, because the prosecutor suggested that those other three will eventually be charged. So why the delay in doing that? And then secondly,
網友們好，大家都入咗嚟，有啲朋友應該都睇咗好大輪我哋發出嘅影片㗎啦。喺點咧談到呢個公民抗命啦嚇。大家又睇到西方人嘅做法，佢哋對政府嘅不滿表達嘅方式咧係唔同嘅，而香港所發生呢一年裏邊嘅事啊嚇，正好咧就係話大家。要多謝大家入嚟睇呢個頻道先，咁樣呢，就首先就係、我都講咗，就係一個好好嘅借鏡或者一個相比呢，就睇到啦香港而家遊行示威所做嘅嘢係咪真係一種公民抗命呢？是真係一班人出嚟搞事呢？今日或者聽日啦，香港就應該會有事情發生嘅。到時直播香港嘅事情時候，我會再加深呢去將香港呢個事情發生嘅旁述呢做好一啲，同埋呢盡量攞一啲而家香港所謂嘅黑媒黃媒喺報導中呢所講嘅説話係相當唔理性，同埋係引導錯 錯誤嘅説話去糾正嘅。目前到而家啊，美國嘅所有傳媒啊所有傳媒所報道嘅新聞都係站喺一個相當之有專業性嘅報導。好多時咧，佢哋嘅報導冇話偏幫邊一邊。有啲係唔正確嘅行為，好似搶劫啊呢啲，佢哋一樣係會有呢個指責。但係政府啊，好似特朗普啊所講過嘅説話係令到呢件事火上加油嘅，佢哋都一樣有旁述出嚟，就唔似好似香港所有嘅媒體將所有嘅矛頭都係淨係單單指向呢個警察同埋香港政府嘅。
It's been a day of peaceful protests across Southern California.
Protest in itself is beautiful.
From Skyfox, a sea of demonstrators in downtown LA. On the ground, protesters started dancing. Moms and dads showing their kids what peaceful protesting looks like.
I just wanted them to show that we can fight for change, but it doesn't have to be in a negative light.
I want my son to see what's going on. I don't want to hide nothing from him. I'm hurt. I'm appalled.
Meanwhile, protesters gather at Mayor Garcetti's home a few hours after he took a knee with protesters. Our special coverage continues.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Christine Devine. Yet another day of protest coverage, but a much different day and night than we've seen in the past couple days.
I'm Alex Michelson. Two big storylines of the day. One, LAPD cracking down on those violating curfew, and two, so many peaceful protests. Start with that. Curfew arrests in multiple areas, including in downtown LA, where at least 250 people are being arrested right in front of the eyes of our own Ed Laskos. In Hollywood, our reporters Haley Winslow, Phil Schuman in place, where they're seeing more arrests in front of them. Protesters spelled out BLM on a Hollywood apartment roof. These were protesters that were fleeing from the cops, apparently, who wanted to arrest them for curfew violations. They ran up onto a roof and spelled out BLM. It was quite a moment. Huge crowds have gathered to protest at Mayor Eric Garcetti's house, the home of the mayor of Los Angeles. Those crowds have now dispersed, but it was quite an event this afternoon. And then a big story that we broke here on Fox 11, a suspect was arrested with a weapon.
喺度回答一下網友在水一方，佢話要成立呢個獨立調查委員會。的確而家好多市民呢，喺或者呢啲美國嘅示威者都係同樣嘅要求呢，希望喺全國呢有一個獨立嘅委員會出嚟呢，檢查一下警方有冇系統性咁樣去種族歧視。但係其實呢個報告咧喺92年洛杉磯呢個大暴動之後都有做過㗎。咁我喺網上咧就由92年一路睇佢每年嗰個報告咧，講解警察嗰個進展嘅。但係好奇怪咧，當我睇到大約10年前開始咧，就算係唔喺呢個 Google 上邊咧，呢啲報告咧就嗰個性質就越嚟越少。
So that we could put together a different plan to have officers block one side of the street so we can block the other and then stop the movement. I think that's been the hardest thing for us is the speed of the crowd keeps moving around so much. We're just not able to get in front of them and to stop them. We're able to do that here on Gordon tonight.
What about these protesters that just want their voices to be heard tonight and they don't feel like they're able to get through to police their point of view?
Well, I won't say anything about that. I just know that tonight my job is to make sure that the streets are safe. I think that they've been given their opportunity to say what they want to say. It is past curfew right now. That's what we're enforcing.
And then last thing, Lieutenant, we've seen a lot more people running around the streets. What is your plan to get them to go home and make sure that things, maybe not with the group of protesters we've seen tonight, but to make sure that there's not looters later on tonight?
Well, we're going to stay out here in force. You're not going to see a lack of police presence, that's for sure. I think as once we start dealing with the larger crowds, things will start to dissipate a little bit, and then we're looking at small groups of people that we can address easily enough in common tactics.
Thank you, Lieutenant. We really appreciate your time. Thank you. All right, we'll send it back to you guys. For now, reporting live in Hollywood, I'm Haley Winslow, Fox 11 News.
All right, Haley, thanks. We're going to check now back in Hollywood from the Sky there, Kevin Takumi and Sky Fox, where this is where we saw those protesters spell out BLM, Black Lives Matter, with their bodies there on the roof of an apartment building after running from police. Kevin, go ahead. Take it away here.
Yeah, after that incident down where at least they boxed them in down below there earlier this evening, they were able to get up here and get to the roof. LAPD officers getting to the roof, slowly taking those people in custody one by one that are on the roof.
網友呢啲你好，好多謝你留言，但係希望大家有啲字眼唔好用啦。如果要人哋生生死死嘅字眼，會影響到大家嘅情緒，同埋加上如果我哋照樣嗌翻呢啲口號嘅，咁我哋同嗰班無理性嘅黃絲有乜分別呢？我哋要做一個中立理性嘅人去睇呢個社會，同埋睇下用我哋自己嘅能力啊，點樣能夠令到我哋自己嘅家人會更加好呢？
They just kind of piled in their cars into this area. They have a couple of buses here to take these people to a staging location to book them for being out after the curfew, and then they're bringing tow trucks in here. They're lined up just down the street in the dark there, but they have the tow trucks ready to go to take all those vehicles that were caught up in this. They're going to impound them all, and drivers are going to have to come get them later on. That's the latest order. And Skyfox, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Kevin Takumi, thank you. We're now going to check in with Phil Schuman. He's moved locations. Phil, where are you looking at now?
We're a few blocks away from where Haley just did her live report. We're at Van Ness and Santa Monica Boulevard. Behind me, the crackdown on alleged curfew violators continues. Behind this line of police officers, there's probably a couple of dozen people that are being flex cuffed and processed for the curfew violations. It was kind of a bizarre scene, Alex. They were literally proned out on the ground. Looks like there was a bunch of bicycles they were riding, and then they were hemmed in by a group of LAPD officers in cars and flex cuffed, and then they typically take their name, their address, birthday, and other information. They check for warrants, and then if they're clean, then they get released. But police definitely cracking down on the curfew violations. And then you see they just moved this squad of about a dozen officers here in the ready position, except there's no one in the parking lot except us. They'll do what they're going to do. So we're going to keep moving through Hollywood tonight, but the message is quite clear. If you're out here, you're not supposed to be, and we're going to arrest you.
Well, after they get arrested and after they get released, does it appear that they're going home? Are they? What happens then?
Well, I can't really answer that because they're not released like right from this location. Typically what we've seen is they bring in sheriff's bus, and they put them on the buses, and then they transport them. Sometimes they go to local jail. Sometimes they just put them on the bus, and that's where they do more of the processing. And then they go, basically they don't want to release them in front of the news cameras. Is the short answer to your question. So I don't know where they go.
I'm going to ask Phil if you have any idea or can get this answer. So what kind of process is this when it comes to time? So let's say I'm one of these people here. I'm put in cuffs.
Yeah.
Is it a 2-hour process? Is it 4 hours?
It's an hour to 2 hour. It's an hour to a 2 hour process. Just about how many people are here, and how many officers are here to process them. But it's in the hours range. It's not overnight or anything like that.
So once they're released, and then I guess it's a citation. What does that mean for them going forward? Is that sort of the end of it, or what?
That means they have it's a criminal citation. It's not like a traffic ticket where they can pay it or they can go to trial.
匯報一下畫面發生嘅事啊。暫時嚟講呢，喺呢個加州嘅荷里活呢，係比較仲有大多數嘅示威者呢，仲係唔肯離去，而呢個戒嚴令呢，已經係生效咗㗎啦。所以站喺警方嘅立場呢，所有人喺街上呢，都係會被拘捕嘅。咁喺某啲嘅街道呢，示威者同警察對峙嘅氣氛呢，有啲開始激烈。但係總括嚟講呢，因為喺人手上呢，係警方嗰方面係增加咗好多，同埋亦加上呢，有好多示威者呢係自願俾警察拉嘅，作為一個 公民抗命嘅表態。所以目前到而家多數嘅畫面就係見到呢，就好多人開始被捕，而同琴日或者前晚相比呢。呢個搶劫嘅行為呢，的確係減少好多，因為警方呢係已經有足夠嘅警力呢，係將一個成個區呢封起嚟，而唔俾強搶嘅人嘅汽車呢容易衝破佢哋嘅防線，所以喺呢一點呢係屬於平靜咗好多嘅。
then you're exempt from that as long as that's legitimately what you're doing and you're just heading home. So they're not like pulling people over randomly, no.
Good to know as we head home tonight from our jobs.
Yeah.
I was going to make
I would keep your press ID handy, though.
Exactly. I was saying I drove by some LAPD officers on the corner.
We have...
Go ahead.
We have... This is a press credential that's issued by the LAPD. I have one on the flip side also issued by the LA County Sheriff's Department. To get one of these press credentials, you have to go through a background check, you have to be fingerprinted, you have to have verified employment, and this allows you to do things like go through police and fire lines. You, of course, are familiar with our fire coverage. Now, other people wear something that just says press on it, that they make at home, or that, their organization might issue. And that's not the same thing. So the fact that we're here right now, we have access to other people don't. And, we're very cautious of not abusing that. We can't go wherever we want. At a certain point, you're familiar with the yellow tape. They don't have it up tonight. But, we're not allowed beyond that. We're not allowed to disturb a crime scene. But we do have extraordinary access that enables us to show you things that, civilians wouldn't be able to see. So we certainly don't abuse that. We appreciate it, but this is part of how we do it.
It seems like the LAPD is trying to send a very strong message, not only to these people, but to everybody that's watching, that there are consequences for your actions. That seems to be the theme of this night.
Yeah, and I think there was last night too. You could make the
各位好，
argument maybe it was a
喺度再補充翻一啲呢，就今朝早呢，好多城市當初開始喺呢個平靜嘅遊行示威當中呢，有好多警察都站出嚟呢，係同示威者講，佢哋係站喺佢哋一邊，佢哋係絕對明白呢個種族歧視喺社會存在嘅。呢個唔係一個政治嘅問題，而係一個社會上嘅問題。有好多警察都講明佢哋係會支持佢哋，但係唔同一樣嘢就係，因為警察係曾經對佢自己嘅工作宣誓過要執行呢個法律嘅，所以入夜之後，如果所有嘅人啦喺呢個宵禁令下唔離開嘅，警察一定都要執法，無論警察係對呢件事嘅睇法係點樣，所以香港警察一樣，香港警察唔係講緊呢個任何咩嘅政治，而係當你真真正正嘅行為上係違法嘅，警察係冇辦法唔執法，因為每一個專業人士唔去遵守佢自己專業嘅守則，呢個世界就會失去咗呢個秩序㗎啦。而最大一個問題可笑嘅就係香港所有嘅大多數啦，傳媒嘅記者，佢哋口聲佢哋係記者，佢哋想擁有記者嘅特權，但係往往喺直播中或者喺新聞上報導中，佢哋從來冇做過一個佢哋自己真真正正要遵守嘅專業守則，所以本頻道係絕對想做到就係針對呢一班所謂黑記，佢哋每一日喺度同香港人洗緊腦，講一啲係歪曲事實嘅道理嘅。
As we were looking for protesters, is a lot of streets are blocked off. So if you're out past curfew, you're going to, in a way, end up getting trapped in between National Guard, LAPD, the Sheriff's Department. And I think that's the idea, to make sure that people stay home during this time and are not out breaking curfew. Back to you.
Wow. Quite something, quite a contrast from what we saw a few nights ago as we continue to look at this live picture from the mid-Wilshire area. And you see, Christine, several of these people are willingly being arrested as to prove a point about civil disobedience.
We are watching the Mid-Wilshire area here. Quite a crowd there. While we look at this picture here, I want to bring in Leo Terrell, civil rights attorney, and you've been on Fox 11 News many times, many years. As you see these young people, Leo, are you expecting people to go to the polls en masse in November? Does this translate into votes or election interest from these young people, do you think?
Hello? You talking to
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we were back. Let me tell you
Paul
right
Wong
now.
回答一下你個問題啊嚇，話記者協會是黎智英控制嘅呢方面呢，我相信唔會係真嘅。香港有好多個唔同嘅呢個記者協會，只不過喺大方向之下呢，知道帶領呢班人呢都係有黃色嘅思想，所以先形成到咁樣。至於阿黎生嘅，佢係做報紙生意嘅。當然啦，越多新聞嘅，佢就越有方法能夠賣報紙啦。
Today it does, but in November is another story. There is just no way you can predict the impact of what's going to happen in November. You know as well as I do, Christine, there's always that October surprise. It always happened around the election time. 4 years ago, it was James Comey reintroducing an investigation to Hillary Clinton. So we don't know, and it would be just pure speculation as to what will happen a week or two before the election.
And the sad reality, which I so desperately hope changes, is that young people, by and large, by percentage, vote in the lowest numbers of any age demographic.
You're right. And, history tells us that. And this is what pains me. We're talking about leaders. Who's the new leader? We look at these young people. They could change the direction by going to the ballot box and voting and making massive changes and getting these people who are these current candidate officials out of office. You had Congresswoman Bass on, and she was talking about this federal program that she's pushing through the Congressional Black Caucus. Let me sit here and tell you right now, and tell the Fox viewers, that will never pass. It's impossible. Every state is different regarding their rules, regarding the police. So I'm sitting here telling you that's the type of rhetoric that has to stop. Will this happen again? You've heard me say over and over and over again, until you separate the district attorney's office from the police department, you will never have accountability. And that is the problem. So, I'm listening to all the politicians talking to you. You ask the right questions, but they skirt. And what happens? We have these things happening again and again, and it's the same.
But Leo,
that hurts. That hurts.
But part of the reason for that, Leo, may be the extraordinary power of police unions in this country. Can you talk about that, or do you think that's a contributing factor?
I think it's a factor. But see, here's the thing that you have to ask yourself, who's telling the public the truth? You have the politicians, the local politicians telling you, we got to stop this. We're improving. We're doing this. Are they doing it?
各位網友，我相信大家都好關注香港嘅問題嘅，咁包括我自己在內啦。咁至於香港黑記呢個問題呢，亦係本台想去針對嘅一個行列嘅事。而家香港警察呢，暴徒方面呢係已經陸續可以鎮壓到啊，而係出嚟搞事呢批所謂嘅記者呢，的確係仲未曾能夠解決。點解政府咁難解決呢？有件事情呢，大家要明白嘅。香港發嘅記者證呢，唔同外國嘅國家記者證。外國真正嘅記者佢哋能夠做記者，首先第一樣佢哋要有個專業嘅訓練，同埋有一個真實嘅媒體工作，佢先能夠可以話自己係記者。而香港而家呢批大多數記者都係講話自己係網媒。 但係有樣唔同咧，就係香港嘅記者證咧，正規嚟講咧係冇任何採訪特權喺呢個警察嘅封鎖線後邊嘅。所以如果嚟緊呢2日本台再有機會再做香港突發情形嘅時候，希望大家留意下啦。
But initially, before I became a lawyer, I was a school teacher. I wanted to help kids get better, do better. But I figured I wanted a bigger forum. I could impact the law. The law could be a weapon or a tool. And I wanted to use it as a tool to help people of color, people of all different colors. And so that's why I have committed my career to civil rights. And it's due to my mom and dad.
So as you see some of these young people take to the mic, as you know of other officers who wanted to be a part of change, do you see people using this moment to inspire them, like however you were inspired?
Yes, but here's the hardest thing, Christine. Can it be sustained? Is it a commitment? Is it the flavor of the month? Can you sustain it and be durable and not be deterred to go somewhere else? Nothing. I pride myself being a civil rights attorney. I love the work. I love helping people. But what is hurting this country that tore the country up for the last 7 days, the looting, which pains me, is a failure of those politicians who talk the good game, who will talk to Alex and go on these talk shows and say, we're doing this. And they're not being upfront and honest. So when I hear the politicians talk to you, and I'm sitting here saying, we're going to propose this legislation, we're doing this, we're setting up this commission. I know the game. I know this is my wheelhouse. And I know they're not being upfront and honest because it takes political muscle to say no to the union. I'm going to do what
大家好啊，喺度都再要點講中文？呼籲一下係向各位網友呼籲一下。首先當然啦，要多謝大家嘅關注我哋呢個台同埋收睇啦。而最重要嘅就係要將呢啲直播嘅影片咧推介多啲出去俾其他朋友睇下。最重要嘅就係我講咗，唔好攞住一個幸災樂禍嘅心態，而係作一個比較，等多啲人啦真係能夠理解明白喺一個騷亂嘅情形之下，社會遇到嘅問題係乜嘢，同埋警察啊、政府啊，佢哋又點樣去做？因為我哋香港好不幸咧，呢個騷亂已經有1年多，而網上睇到一切嘅直播啊，都係偏頗於黃絲一邊嘅，而冇咩係正式嘅渠道啊或者頻道咧係去講解呢個正路嘅意思嘅。形成到咧有啲家長咧本來都係想小朋友明白下呢個世界發生咩事，都唔夠膽俾小朋友睇，所以呢個頻道咧就係希望能夠咧做到咧用一個公正嘅方法咧去旁述一下，同埋最重要就係網上實在太多謠言啊，太多唔理性嘅説話，即係等大家喺想知道發生事情當中都能夠多個選擇去聽下另一方面嘅解釋係點樣。
Some of the power may be in a lot of the cultural leaders in people like Kendrick Lamar, LeBron James, what?
Nick Cannon,
other people like that. And we've invited them onto this show. We would love to hear their perspective. I know they have Instagram and other things that they could talk to a lot of people, but we would love to have them be a part of the conversation because I think a lot of young people may not be listening to some of the political leaders or some of the older generation, but they want to hear from people that are maybe a little bit younger and more in touch with what's going on with them. And it would be great to hear them, speak out a little more. And we invite them to be part of the conversation here.
You're 100% right. But see, unlike me, which filters, I'm giving it from the heart. The LeBron James and the Nick Cannons who could do tremendous, they're going to be filtered by the people who advise them. And they're going to see what's the political win. So I'm giving it to you straight. I'm giving it to you from the heart. I'm telling you that if LeBron James, who's a great athlete, and Nick Cannon, if they come from the heart,
Wong,
we can't lose. We get these people
你想我講黎智英？據我所知咧，黎智英咧的確係受過呢個中國文化大革命時候嘅洗禮嘅，咁多多少少佢嘅仇恨咧，我可以理解。但係一個人一生人就係攞住仇恨去做嘢咧，其實對自己都唔係一個好處。佢呢次所做嘅嘢唔單止係佢自己想發泄佢嘅仇恨，而係令到整個社會崩潰。當然呢個唔係佢一個人嘅力量，亦唔係啊佢能夠將一啲理性嘅人啦指導到去唔理性，因為香港有好多問題係存在咗好耐，其中一個最大嘅原因香港就係的確係樓價太高。但係呢個事情唔係一朝一日咧係形成嘅，而係咁多年嚟積聚下嚟嘅。咁至於而家去到最後一分鐘，我今朝有嘅消息就係佢依然出嚟咧，就嗌人哋咧呢個六四晚會咧去呢個維園嘅。其實佢呢個做法已經係觸犯咗法律㗎啦。至於佢自己點樣做，就係佢自己個人要承擔佢自己所做嘅嘢㗎啦。即係喺呢度都係強調一樣嘢，香港發生嘅問題唔係話好多人俾人洗腦，而係香港本身有好多人有怨氣，個怨氣可能喺生活上啊、思想上啊形成嘅，所以先搞到咁樣。咁頭先咧喺個西方媒體旁述都講咗，而家現時啊美國呢個咁嘅騷亂啊或者遊行嘅人啊，可以維持幾耐呢？咁呢一點就暫時嚟講，好多人都唔可以做嗰個答案出嚟。但係如果站喺一個自由民主嘅社會，投票制度就係反映嗰個國家嘅國民嗰個取態，所以就算香港一樣，到咗9月立法會啊你唔好睇小自己嘅能力，你自己手上嘅一票可能就可以改變呢個天下嘅。
So, and a lot of these are young people, and yeah. All right, where we are heading now to update you as we approach 9:30 here on Fox 11. I'm Alex Michelson with Christine Devine. We continue to follow this breaking news throughout the city of Los Angeles. We are seeing tonight, and you're seeing evidence of it, these curfew arrests, a real crackdown tonight from the LAPD, from downtown LA to Hollywood, trying to send a message that that looting is over. It's not going to be tolerated tonight. We saw protesters arrested from a Hollywood rooftop. Before they spelled out BLM with their bodies, which was something to see. We saw a huge crowd gather to protest at LA Mayor Eric Garcetti's house. It appears most of them have now dispersed. And earlier today, we reported
先翻嚟旁述一下喺呢個洛杉磯啊同埋荷里活咧，陸續咧有大批嘅人咧已經被拘捕㗎啦，肯定咧喺唔同嘅城市啊，起碼數百以上㗎啦。咁至於剩餘落嚟嘅人啦會唔會再早啲翻屋企咧？暫時嗰個情形仲睇落去咧就係唔會嘅。咁至於Wong 一個問題講得好啱，好多老百姓咧係對政治冇呢個觸覺。覺得政治咧係喺我哋好遙遠嘅地方，但係往往我哋無論生活喺邊個國家，政治其實就係影響到我哋嘅生活。喺呢一點咧，好多人係暫時唔會明白嘅。當然啦，當你揾朝唔得晚嘅時候，你何來仲有呢個奢侈嘅時間去理咁多呢啲咁嘅所謂政治咧？
even transports. They already took a whole busload, an entire busload of the protesters away, and now in the last 45 minutes or so, these protesters who are now under arrest for the curfew violation, still waiting here to be transported because of the delay in just in processing, as Kevin was telling us, processing all of those arrested. The captain earlier was telling us this arrest earlier landed about 250, he said, 250 arrested for curfew violation. These were the protesters who earlier today on Fox 11 News you were watching were protesting live along LA City Hall. And then as the curfew approached at 6 o'clock, they broke off and started marching in different directions, marching here along Broadway. And that's when LAPD moved in, sealed it off between 4th and 5th, and started making arrests. 250 arrested, waiting, some of them now, to be transported. And about 40 others actually broke into a doorway that led into an apartment building here along Broadway. And they have all since been removed from that building and arrested as well. They've been taken away. And in fact, some of them may also be part of this group that's still waiting to be transported, as LAPD taking no exceptions tonight, enforcing the curfew as their way to keep the streets open and solve that problem with the looting that they've had the last couple of days. The captain earlier from LAPD telling me no looting reported here in downtown tonight. And also, if I can chime in some information about Alex and Christine, what you were talking about earlier, and the curfew and what exactly LAPD in this case can do. Once that curfew hits at 6 p.m. until it expires in the early morning hours, LAPD, the captain tells me, can stop any vehicle that's driving. It is their discretion, the officer's discretion, to stop anyone and then ask questions. Where you're coming from, what's your business? And of course, if you have the exemption, if you're coming to work, going to work, coming back from work, or maybe having some type of an emergency, or in this case, law enforcement or members of the media, you're exempt. But LAPD under the curfew,
大家好，喺度插入神人同埋不正常的正常人同在水一方嘅一批留言啊！呢個世界咧有好多嘢我係唔可以比較嘅。每個地方咧有佢自己嘅好處，有佢唔好處。好似我自己啊，我講我住過4-5個唔同嘅國家。呢個世界冇一個地方係天堂，亦冇一個國家係地獄。每個地方面對嘅問題咧係唔同嘅。有句説話咧就係啱嘅，我哋要知足我哋有嘅嘢，而且最重要一樣嘢就係，如果你想為呢個社會出一分力嘅，起碼你都要做好自己。如果做唔好自己嘅，就算你有幾大嘅宏偉嘅思維，都係冇用嘅。
The captain we spoke to earlier, live here on Fox 11, Horace, he said he lost his voice. I was speaking to a lieutenant last night over in Hollywood, and he said, we're doing our job, but we are exhausted. And last night when they began, as I was saying, turning the curve, if you will, and beginning to get a handle on all the protests and the looting, the lieutenant was telling me, we finally feel like we're getting a handle on it, and we're starting to breathe a little easier. But they've been running like crazy, and a lot of them are just exhausted. God bless them.
You got to think how tough that is, because every situation that they've gone into, Christine, in the last few days, they've had to essentially be on edge, because they're walking into a crisis situation over and over and over again, and the physical and mental toll of that. And it is great to see them, getting a handle on things, because you can only imagine how tough that is physically, mentally, emotionally to be in that work, and we commend them for the work that they have done. Ed Laskos, thank you.
Even here tonight as they... Well, I was just going to say, even here tonight, as they were making the arrest, Alex, real quickly, talk about the tension. A lot of the officers had their guns, their weapons drawn up on the buildings, the high-rises, because there were people up top. And at the beginning of these arrests, there were reports of projectiles coming down. So even though as the officers were making arrests, there was concern that they might get
各位網友好啊！希望大家唔好取笑大家生活上嘅問題嘅事啊！我都強調過好多次，每個城市、每個地方、每個國家，大家遇到問題唔同嘅。香港最大個問題就係地少人多，形成到咧好多人咧喺無可奈何之下去生存。除咗香港之外，如果你睇睇好似日本嘅東京都係一樣㗎，佢哋所住嘅環境啦唔會好得過香港。但係，如果你選擇咗喺個地方生存嘅，你只可以盡量想辦法將自己嘅生活環境改好。
Yeah, we're live on Santa Monica Boulevard at Van Ness, and the decidedly unglamorous shopping center, a strip mall. And now that police have got this more under control, take a look at this crowd of people that are handcuffed, flex-cuffed up against the wall here, being cited criminally for a curfew violation. Probably 50 people, all the way down to the end of the strip mall here, which is blocks long. Again, we're on Santa Monica Boulevard at Van Ness, sort of the eastern part of Hollywood. And what they're doing now is they're waiting for a bus to transport these folks. Again, they're typically cited and released, but they either bring them to the Hollywood division, or they just process them in the field, or they bring them to LA County Jail downtown. There's so many of them that it's possible they've also set up some off-site processing facilities that they haven't shared with us. But that's the latest here from Hollywood, and just a huge amount of LAPD resources devoted to enforcing the curfew, as you mentioned before, Alex and Christine, definitely sending a message that they are taking this very seriously and that they're not cutting anybody any slack once they refuse to leave the area.
Well, Phil, this has got to be such a contrast for you, because the other day you were in Santa Monica when those stores were just being looted like nobody's business.
Right.
And there was like no cops around. We saw Bobby D the other night at that store. We watched it live just be looted. And all these guys are just people that have just stayed up late, past the curfew. And yet, those guys all got away, and these guys are being taken into custody tonight.
Of course, that was in Santa Monica. This is Los Angeles. But, there's just a huge amount of law enforcement resources devoted to basically babysitting a bunch of people who are out past 6 o'clock and either intentionally violated the curfew or unknowingly violated the curfew. But, what you mentioned in Santa Monica, that's a question of the Santa Monica Police Chief Arnaud. That's a question for the LAPD Chief Michael Moore. And we've had opportunities to talk with them. But when we see these virtual press conferences or appearances that our political leaders and law enforcement have, they take questions that are relayed by someone else via the internet or over the phone, and it's much different than being able to say to Chief Michael Moore, where were these guys Friday night? To say to Chief Arnaud in Santa Monica, where were your people Sunday afternoon for 3 hours when the looting continued? Those are questions that we'd love to ask, but as more time goes by, this is going to fade into the memory, right? And they may not necessarily be as timely as they are right now.
I think there are a lot of business owners in
各位網友喺呢度，希望大家咧唔好淨係針對其他地方嘅唔好處啊，不如我哋大家討論下你哋生活嘅地方有乜好處，等大家了解下，唔好往往咧都係向唔好嘅方面去睇啊。最重要一樣嘢，呢個係事實㗎。以前未有網絡嘅時代，人係點講呢？人與人相處呢係要面對面嘅。自從網絡有咗之後啊，我哋又是年輕嘅呢一代咧，已經學少咗點樣去人與人相處，正面面對面嘅相處。而網絡呢，的確係啊，我哋一架手機能知天下事，我哋係知道咗好多嘢，但係喺知道之後，有幾多個人真係去沉思，去諗呢件事係點解呢？個因由呢？呢一點呢，就係缺少咗，同埋每一日呢，我哋係受到唔同嘅媒體啊、唔同嘅網絡嘅資訊啦係炸爆咗，令到好多人呢就冇可能呢可以能夠有時間去為每一件事去慢慢思維下，呢一點的確係一個唔係好好嘅事，所以大家都話喺呢度希望大家。身為都係華人，我希望能夠大家係同心理解對方，而唔係往往咧將個區域分出嚟咧，就作一個指責。每個地方都有佢好處唔好處，呢一點係我經常都要強調俾大家嘅，因為好似我自己咁樣啦嚇。 我一半大半嘅朋友係西方人，一大半呢都係亞洲人啦咁講。往往喺朋友圈裏都係一啲係好人，一啲唔好人。每笪地方一樣，無論中國好香港好，都係有好人有唔好人。近期嚟啊，又是中國有啲小粉紅啦嚇，口口聲聲話而家中國係咁幾厲害啊嚇，幾厲害。其實我哋中國發展到而家嚇，喺某方面我哋的確係比人哋係好嘅，但係我哋仲有好多地方呢要跟人哋學習，所以呢一點大家身為就算係自己一個人都好，唔好驕傲，唔好認為我哋已經呢係好好，我哋永遠呢冇最好，只有更好的。
So cops came on either side of Gordon Street and basically had them all surrounded, made them get out of their cars and surrender their vehicles that will get impounded. The bus filled up with
係 Listen Ann 你問我去美國移民幾耐？我可以同你講，我唔係移民去美國，而係喺75年我係移民到去荷蘭嘅。喺嗰度居住咗20幾年，咁後期呢仲喺澳大利亞啦，有10幾年，馬來西亞有好一段時間，喺中國亦係住咗好一段時間。咁啊，香港更加唔使講啦，我出身香港，所以喺唔同嘅國家入邊，佢哋嘅矛盾啊，佢哋嘅好處唔好處啊，我係比較知得清楚啲，所以喺睇嘢嗰方面呢，我唔會集中呢係對一個地方呢講佢嘅壞處。所以喺我嘅人生睇法就係最重要就係你而家所住嘅地方，你覺得開唔開心呢？適唔適合你呢？如果適合嘅咪住落去咯，覺得唔適合嘅咪自己可以想個方法或尋求自己嘅天堂。
The big moments that have sort of gone viral over the last day that a lot of people are talking about online.
You mean from here, Fox 11 alone, or on a national level?
Apparently there's some other people working on this story too. Right. You wouldn't know it based off of what you see online, but apparently there are. Yeah.
Vanessa Borge has been taking a look at what's happening around the nation. Take a look here.
I may not be black, but I'm God's child. I saw that man calling out for his mama. I thought about my mama. What I kept thinking is, he must be seeing her already. But
yes, he's transitioning.
They're not letting her knock up. Yes. So I'm here to tell you, we will march as a department with everybody in this community. I will march. You get the victory. Father, we ask for forgiveness from our black brothers and sisters for years and years of racism, of systematic racism. Just like you, all right? Okay? Okay? That's all right. Okay. Okay. All right. We're all here together, okay? Huh?
係啊，網友們，大家都唔好講錢啊，或者講到邊啲人係最叻。呢個世界上啊，叫做天外有天，人外有人。何謂之有錢呢？呢個世界種種都梗係有人會有錢過你，有人叻過你。總之，大家珍惜自己而家所有嘅嘢啊！不如同大家分享下生活上嘅樂趣。而家能夠喺中國，譬如咁講，辛苦咗幾廿年，而家終於咧能夠有少少苗頭出嚟。國家的確係做咗好多嘢，令到咧中國咧能夠咧改變咗好多。至於香港， 你話香港人係有錢多，的確係有錢人多，但係喺每個國家，通常嚟講都係冇錢人多過有錢人。如果往往就係揾幾個有錢人嚟比嘅，咁就呢個世界就冇得比㗎啦。
I am so glad we did that segment there. We showed moments around the country in different ways of people that are coming together through this. The cleaning up of the neighborhoods, the hug between the officer and a member of the community. And we're seeing a lot of those things. And I know we talked about, you mentioned LeBron James. He had tweeted, media show more of that. So I'm really glad that we put that together, got some pieces from around the country and can show you what's going on to uplift and unite and perhaps even move forward.
And we should focus on here in Southern California. It's been an extraordinary day of thousands and thousands of people taking to the streets to have their voices heard.
You know why?
There's been almost, go ahead.
Why I love Good Day LA is because they have a chance to kind of pull some of those pieces together and show those after we've been covering so much breaking news at night. You know, our shifts are kind of different. The kind of concepts of the newscast and the news is a little bit different. But I watch every morning just to see these great pieces that they put together and these great clips that they find.
Yeah, we've just been going nonstop from thing to thing to thing to thing.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, we've got a new thing to go to. Kevin Kakumi is in Granada Hills at a Vons, and was there some looting here?
Here, the front window was broken off. LAPD task force came out and got one person in.
希望大家網友保持呢個冷靜嘅討論啦。我都講咗，我唔希望呢個頻道變成一個大家嘴罵嘅頻道。我係嘥咗好多精神時間先能夠做到今日嘅直播。我唔想咁樣呢，我嘅初心同埋我原意呢，俾佢俾啲唔理性嘅人侮辱咗。希望大家可以尊重一下啦。
Empty, just a few cars around and no pedestrians anywhere else in this entire complex area here. You've also got a Target over there. You've got some other shopping areas and restaurants on the other side here. So it's kind of, it stands out. They had a burglar alarm that went off when the window was broken, but one person in custody. That's the latest overhead. We'll send back to you in the studio.
Wow. That person must have been there a minute, or cops, like you said, arrived there pretty quickly. All right, Kevin Takumi, thanks very much. We're going to go back on the ground to downtown LA with some movement here at Lascos.
Yeah, the wait is over for the people who are being arrested here, finally being loaded off, going off to jail. Kevin will give us a look. The buses have finally arrived, the LA County Sheriff's Department buses. 3 buses brought in here because they have dozens of those who've been arrested. The charge, breaking that curfew from the earlier protest. The curfew hits at 6 o'clock, and they were arrested maybe around 7 o'clock. And they have been held here in a security area along the sidewalk with those plastic ties on, waiting. And as the captain was telling us, the shortage of buses and then the backlog of buses, because so many arrests have been made through the area, that they've just been waiting, and they finally got the 3 buses now, and so they're hoping.
我喺度彙報一下畫面所發生嘅嘢。大部分嘅情形而家咧就係好多拘捕者咧已經係綁上呢個索帶，而等候咧大批呢個警察嘅巴士咧嚟載佢哋走嘅。咁有啲群眾咧仲係俾警察包圍住咧，係唔會離開。咁今晚咧所有拘捕嘅人數咧，我諗我要對唔住，要聽日咧先可以報道俾大家聽啦。但係照個情形嚟睇，同埋剛才所聽到嘅數字，喺不同嘅城市所被拘捕嘅人，起碼係數百以上㗎啦。
They were part of that, and then at 6 o'clock as the curfew hit, they dispersed from there and walked in large groups. This group walking down Broadway, several hundred at a time before LAPD finally came in, made the arrest here at Broadway and 4th. 250 in all arrested as part of that protest, breaking the curfew, and now the last several dozen of them loaded onto the buses as LAPD clears this area and continues, Alex and Christine, to enforce the curfew, keep the trouble down, and make sure there is no looting. The captain from LAPD telling me no reports of looting through downtown on this night.
Well, that's certainly welcome news. The no reports of looting in downtown tonight. Let's say that 10 times, right?
That enforcement seems to be working.
Yeah. So Ed Laskos,
the captain was telling me. In place and LAPD just moving in quickly, and the protesters last night and again tonight in this group as well, they knew the curfew hit at 6. They were told, repeatedly warned by LAPD over loudspeakers, you're in violation of the curfew, it's an illegal act. Still they did not disperse, and when LAPD moved in on them, this group actually sat down in the middle of Broadway. They had some cars blocking the way, some bikes, and they refused to leave. So again, no tolerance for this. LAPD's made it very clear, if you're out past 6 o'clock, you will be rounded up, you will be arrested.
I wonder if it were possible to ever talk to them and say, is it worth it? Was it worth it? Obviously, it's going to be a longer night for them than they perhaps expected, but wondering what they think, now that they're going through all of this.
You have to wonder, they're not chanting now because actually LAPD moved us over across the street to give.
在水一方問我，最近一次嚟大陸係什麼時候？我可以同你講，我係大概1年前先離開中國。之前呢，我喺廣東省呢係住咗4年嘅。
As the cameras moved away, they would just stand as you're watching them now, very quietly, very peacefully, waiting to get on the bus. And the captain from LAPD earlier saying they've had no problem. The arrests were made. No one resisted arrest. It was very peaceful in that sense. Even the 40 or so suspects they rounded up who broke inside that apartment building that I was telling you about to get away from police to avoid being arrested, they came out also very peacefully. So LAPD saying even though while these folks are breaking the curfew and they are being arrested, there's been no resistance, no struggles, and certainly everybody is very fortunate for that and very taking a sigh of relief that we're not having any more trouble in that respect.
Well, and at this point in the week, the curfew is not a surprise. We've had several nights to know about the curfew. They put it out on everybody's phone, put it out on social media. We've been talking about it on TV all day.
嗰位網友問我，在水一方問我去過幾多個城市啊？我都自己唔記得啦。喺中國4面都走過。上海、北京、蘇州、杭州、杭州、南寧、四川。因為我工作呢，就以前呢，我大概平均都有2個星期喺中國嘅，所以你話中國屬唔屬於熟呢？係熟。同埋我都講過，我雖然係移民咗去外國，但係96年呢，我已經開始陸續一路咁樣喺中國㗎啦。其實我係一路睇住中國嘅成長同埋個改變嘅。咁至於講到話喺呢大家呢度討論嘢，當然啦，我絕對唔反對大家討論，只不過希望呢大家能夠保持翻個冷靜嘅討論，唔好將個仇恨呢放出去，而係呢將大家嘅矛盾呢可以分解嘅。好啦，唔講咁多啦，咁啊翻去今日個總結先。大致上呢，今日都係同早幾日一樣，就係早上呢，就係有呢個平靜嘅遊行示威，亦有多個警方呢都係出嚟講係同呢啲示威者一齊遊行，同埋話支持佢哋嘅。但係遊行結束之後呢，警方呢都係有份參加呢個遊行嘅。勸呢啲遊行示威者呢，就如果係到咗呢戒嚴之後呢，就係要各自回家啦，就唔好留喺街上。而今日同以往嗰幾日唔同嘅呢，就係有好大班嘅遊行示威者呢，係自願係俾呢個警察捉，而佢哋嘅行為係稱為一種呢叫公民抗命。咁而家嘅畫面呢，已經係去到就係睇到好多被捕嘅人士呢，陸續係俾帶走嘅。咁其他呢，就最重要一樣嘢就係暫時呢，呢位 George Floyd 先生死嘅4位警察 當中呢，仲有3位警察呢係未曾上訴嘅。咁值得一提呢，就係 Justiceforfloyd 先生呢，星期一呢會喺侯斯頓呢進行一個追悼會嘅。咁至於星期2呢先會落葬。咁今日好多問題呢，個唔同記者啊或者旁述啊都喺度講緊，就係話呢個遊行示威能夠維持到幾耐呢？咁呢一點呢，暫時大家都係一個問號，因為喺美國呢個種族歧視呢，實在係太過深，而好多呢個人權協會啊，都要求個個警隊啊或者全國嘅警隊呢進行一個叫做獨立委員會，睇下呢個有呢個組織性啊或者常規性嘅種族歧視啊，喺警隊有幾大嘅深度。咁呢件事呢，暫時就未有回報嘅。咁至於群眾嗰個怒憤呢，暫時仲係存在㗎啦，所以聽日呢應該都會繼續有直播。咁就我得翻嚟嘅畫面呢，就越嚟越少㗎啦，已經冇咩好睇㗎啦，所以過多幾分鐘後呢，我喺呢度就會暫停呢個直播。希望如果喺香港有咩事情發生直播時候再睇可以同大家網友見面啦。喺呢度多謝大家。如果中意我哋呢個做法嘅，請你留言、點讚、分享同埋訂閱，好多謝大家。同埋，如果呢條片上咗之後嘅，希望你能夠轉發下俾其他人睇下啦。呢個係一個好好嘅借鏡呢，就睇到香港呢一年內裏邊發生嘅遊行騷亂啦，同而家美國呢個比較係點樣嘅？好多謝大家。
We're going eastbound on Slauson right now, so we did a couple of loops around there in that one area. So it's a gray like Crown Victoria, and they're calling it for assault on a deadly weapon. They said initially an assault with deadly weapon on a police officer. I don't know how that started, but it started. So we picked it up southbound on the 110 freeway. So we're tracking it here. It came. North, like I said, northbound up on Crenshaw, and now we're going eastbound on Slauson here. So LAPD is still here. They had a couple opportunities to try and pit it there when they kind of went in a couple of loops up and down Crenshaw Boulevard. But now we're going high speed here, 70 miles an hour. This is on surface streets here, going eastbound here. So we've got some car traffic coming up ahead. That was a front green, but you can see they're right on him. So eastbound Slauson, passing Van Ness here, and continuing eastbound, still going about 80 miles an hour here on the surface streets. You can see how fast they're going, passing other vehicles, passing other cars. Still a fresh green right there, still going eastbound. We have several units in pursuit here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4,